at the helm. Heidelberg would like to thank Mercy Health of Tiffin, the official healthcare provider of the Student Princes. As part of Heidelberg's ongoing 175th anniversary celebration, 1980 graduate Kathleen Orr is helping to organize the Heidelberg University Alumni and Friends Tour of Germany, coinciding with the trip planned for the Heidelberg Concert Choir and Band in May of 2026. The tour includes concerts in Heidelberg and Leipzig, visits to castles, a Rhine River cruise, and more. To learn more about this once-in-a-lifetime trip, Kathleen is standing by the Travel Dragon information table near the band. Just look for her in that bright pink polo shirt. Have you seen France Fieldhouse? It is officially open. Just across Main Street from King Hall, we invite everyone to check in today while you're here on campus. Our $27.4 million facility, fully funded by donors, includes an indoor track, indoor turf, and a vibrant weight room. A guided tour will depart from the main lobby at 5 p.m. today. We hope to see you there.
For over a century, UIS Insurance and Investments has stood by families, businesses, and communities, offering trusted protection and guidance. From insurance coverage to investment planning, we're your one-stop shop for securing today and preparing for tomorrow. We're honored to continue that tradition as proud supporters of Heidelberg University. To the students, faculty, and alumni, thank you for letting us be a part of your community. UIS Insurance and Investments, protecting what matters most while helping you plan for the future.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to beautiful Herniman Stadium here at Tiffin, Ohio. It's another Saturday in the OAC, and that means it's time for Heidelberg University football. Today, the Student Princes look to build momentum as they welcome the Capital Comets in a matchup that's always charged with energy, history, and pride. Heidelberg's offense, they've shown flashes of dominance this season. They've got explosive plays, balanced drives, a relentless ground game led by number 9, Drew Miller. While Capital continues to search for its first win in the OAC after tough early season matchups. Two programs, different paths, but both are hungry to prove themselves this afternoon. So buckle up. It's time for the OAC football on a crisp October afternoon. This is Heidelberg University football and the Student Prince Network on Flow Sports. Hello, Dominic Helmstetter, joined by Trayvon Hastings here. And Trey, this is going to be an amazing game. Oh, you can hear the band down on the field right there. Two teams that love to get after it.
100%. This is a big game for Heidelberg. It is the university's homecoming. Had just opened the new field house yesterday as well for that ribbon cutting. So this is a big game. A lot of people here, more than we typically anticipate for a Saturday night at Heidelberg. But despite that, this is a Heidelberg team that needs to get going quickly in this game against a team that they have dominated over the last 10 years of this series. And Capital's coming off a close loss against a quality Marietta team. So they'll definitely have an extra boost of motivation coming into this game.
Absolutely. Homecoming, you can see at the far side of the field there on the north. You got all the tents, alumni coming in, pouring in all day long. And you mentioned Franz Fieldhouse, beautiful field house on the other side of Main Street. $27.4 million, fully funded by the amazing donors here at Heidelberg University.
Yeah, I got my first look at it yesterday, and boy, it is awesome
Sharp.
in there. I'm jealous I can only spend 1 year in it, but you never know. So better late than never.
All right. Heidelberg Student Princes, season 2-2 here. Opened strong with a statement win over Hiram, 65-27, scoring in all three phases: offense, defense, special teams. Week 2, they stumbled a bit against Ohio Northern, falling 33-13 in that Bendo Bowl, and struggled to find a rhythm offensively here. And then week 3, an absolute heartbreaker, dropping a 40-37 overtime thriller here at home against Calvin, despite a career best day by running back Drew Miller, who rushed for 239 yards and 2 touchdowns on 36 carries. That's the most by a Heidelberg back since 2015, and that performance helped push Miller to the 118-yard per game average ranking, which is one of the top marks among all rushers in the OAC. So it's bounce back time, and last year they won a convincing 45-22 over Capital. And what do they have to do tonight, this afternoon, to continue that momentum that you alluded to a little bit earlier?
Yeah, this is a Heidelberg team that has averaged 45.7 points per game over the last 10 meetings against Capital. They are giving up just 17.8 points across those 10 outings. So this is a team that all-time leads 47-31-1 against Capital. And they've had some shootouts in the past, but Heidelberg tends to start out really quickly in these games against Capital, and they're going to need to do that again against the Comets if they want to have similar success.
And, of course, quarterback Ty Poorman helps balance that out a little bit, passing for over 500 yards, 7 total touchdowns through 4 games. So his consistency on the ground certainly is something that can help them balance things out and establish a little dominance this afternoon.
Yeah, and Capital's going to come into this extra motivated. They're on a 14-game losing streak against Heidelberg.
Oh, and Capital indeed. All right, 1-2 on the season, opening the year with a big win, 36-20 over Catholic, and they've dropped 2 close conference games, including that heartbreaking 24-21 loss to Marietta on a last-second field goal. Of course, Tyler Love, the quarterback for the Comets, has kind of emerged as a dual threat, throwing for nearly 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, and adding a couple scores on the ground. What are we going to see from Capital this afternoon is they try to steal back a win away from Heidelberg.
They have a few key playmakers, and I think they're going to try to get those guys the football. And in addition to that, try to spread out Heidelberg's defense, use a lot of that QB run game that you highlighted. And this is a Heidelberg team that has been susceptible to big plays allowed in the run game. So I think the Comets are going to try to establish that run early and often. We say that for Heidelberg, but I think for Capital, that's very important in this game in a matchup where they typically struggle defensively.
We're about 13 minutes away from kickoff here at Herniman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio. It's a beautiful day, right around 86 degrees outside. We've got the window cracked up here in the press box.
It's toasty, man.
Yeah, you can feel that heat kind of pouring in, but it's a beautiful day for football, and the crowd's up on their feet. They're excited. The band sounds amazing. It's exactly what you want for fall college football.
Yeah, and taking a look at Capital, since I mentioned the few playmakers, Tyler Love is 7th in the OAC in passing yards. They don't have a top 10 rusher. So, weirdly, they have a dynamic QB, but at the same time, they haven't been able to establish a lot of consistency in that run game. For Heidelberg, Drew Miller, 4th in the conference right now, averaging 118 yards per game. We're going to see Heidelberg use him early and often, as we have in the other 2 home games we have bared ourselves witness to.
Last year, Heidelberg won 45-22 over Capital there in Columbus, Ohio. That was Coach Donaldson's 50th win of his career here at Heidelberg. Drew Miller ran for 2 touchdowns, and Arledge to Drudel, who was able to connect for another one in that big game turner, a blocked field goal, which turned for a touchdown by Cunningham, really swung momentum. Are there any momentum swingers that we need to keep an eye out for tonight in this contested matchup?
I like to always nod that one over to special teams just because Heidelberg has struggled in the punt game especially, and that does flip the field both positively and negatively. So I think for Capital, it's trying to win the kickoff battle because Heidelberg has two very dynamic return specialists in Corbin Haley and Tyrese Clairvaux. But on the punting side of things, Heidelberg's going to have to execute there. I wouldn't be surprised if Capital gets aggressive, tries to block a few punts, and maybe flip this field and get some momentum for them. But I'm going to be fascinated to see who starts with the ball because I think that's going to help dictate this early part of the game that both teams honestly need to get off to a good start in.
And you mentioned Heidelberg likes to get off to a fast start, so maybe something that they're looking forward to, establish a little momentum here at the beginning of the game by getting the ball right away.
Exactly, and I think we're going to see a lot of shots taken by Heidelberg. I know the scouting report's going to say stop the run, so I think we'll see some play-action shots early in this game for Ty Porman and those Heidelberg receivers.
All right, let's go back to Capital for a second here. Despite being winless in the OAC, you mentioned a lot of dynamite players there, a young team, young roster here. What sort of improvements should Heidelberg be looking for and watching out for so that they don't get caught off guard tonight?
Last year, Capital was able to move the ball pretty decent against them for the majority of that game. They ran out of gas about 2.5 quarters in. I would say for Capital, it's finishing off drives, trying to put points on the board every time you go down and score, and not have too many costly penalties, turnovers, things of that nature. So it's the little things and the intangible stuff for Capital that they're going to have to execute at a high level if they want to get a win tonight.
You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. We're about 9 minutes and 50 seconds away from kickoff here. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll come right back to you. Again, Heidelberg University football.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to have about 2 minutes of talking. You want to do keys?
Yeah, we'll do quick keys.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned a few of them, too, which should be good.
Yep.
You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports here at Herman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio. Dominic Helmstetter, Trayvon Hastings here, and we've got the Heidelberg University Student Princes taking on the Capital Comets in a OAC matchup that just gets better and better every single year. All right, so we've kind of previewed both of these teams a little bit this afternoon on homecoming day. Trey, I'm just kind of looking around, and I love everything we've got. We've got the team getting ready to come out onto the field. We've got alumni everywhere. There's a giant orange chair on the far side of the end zone, and then a huge chair, for the royalty, we'll call it. It's just a beautiful day for football.
100%. We're going to see that homecoming court announced at halftime as well, so stay tuned for that. But a lot of extra events going on. You know, this is always one of the more exciting games of the year, is the homecoming game. So we'll see what happens here. And like we mentioned, it'll be important for Heidelberg to get going and Capital to get going. But we're going to get a different uni combination here for Heidelberg, and I personally like it, the gray on white.
There we go. I tried to get them to bring that throne up here for us, but they wouldn't do it. A little too heavy, they said. So anyways, all right, 7 minutes, 50 seconds here. We're a few minutes away from the national anthem, but let's talk a little bit about our keys for tonight. Let's start with the hometown team, Heidelberg University. You mentioned something about, establishing that run. Of course, Drew Miller, dynamite, one of the top threats in the OAC, establishing that run, but getting started quick.
Yes, 100%. And in order to do that as well, you have to protect the quarterback. They did struggle a lot on the protection side of things against Calvin. And Calvin, to be honest, they blitzed a lot against Heidelberg, and I don't think they were prepared for that. They didn't do any adjustments at halftime. So they got to find a way to match man-on-man when the blitz is coming and have good pass pro. But other than that, protecting the quarterback is going to be huge. Obviously, we have it here in front of us, capitalizing on turnovers. Mentioned Capital does have a tendency to turn it over a few times against Heidelberg. They're going to have to find a way to execute off those turnovers and staying disciplined. There was a lot of penalties in a couple of these home games for Heidelberg, namely that Hiram one. So they have to find a way to do what they usually do, which is stay disciplined on that side of.
All right, we're going to go down onto the field as the marching band's going to get ready, and we have the national anthem coming up to you here in moments at Flow Sports at Heidelberg University in Herman Stadium. That was the Heidelberg University marching band down there on the field with the national anthem. All right, Trey, let's get back to it. Heidelberg, establish the run, protect the quarterback, be disciplined, and take advantage of those turnovers when you can. Let's flip the script to the visiting team, the Capital Comets. What are the keys for them to kind of snap this losing streak that they've got against the Student Princes?
Yeah, that 14-game losing streak. Well, one of the ways to help potentially end that is, I already highlighted on it, sustaining drives, getting points on the board. They may not have the greatest kicking team, but a lot of these teams don't. So I think it's important for them to at least get into that red area and give themselves an opportunity to get points on the board. Also, I had highlighted special teams. They're going to have to win that battle. They're going to have to win the field position. They're going to have to limit the momentum swinging plays that Heidelberg tends to generate with that special teams unit. Winning the red zone kind of tallied on that one already, but pressuring Portman. Heidelberg did struggle with that protection. I had mentioned it, and I think that Capital has an opportunity to kind of use the blueprint Calvin provided and use that to manipulate that Heidelberg offensive line and create some pressure that Heidelberg may not be expecting.
Special teams could play a huge role in today's matchup here. It certainly did against Calvin, as it turned out to be a 3-point difference there in the final score. All right, 3.5 minutes until kickoff here. We're getting ready. We're going to have the coin toss here in moments. And, of course, this is a classic OAC clash here in Tiffin, Ohio. Heidelberg Student Princes looking to protect their home turf, climb above 500, while the Capital Comets, they're just hoping to flip the script and spoil the day and score their first OAC victory of the season.
Yeah, and we're going to see here on this coin toss what happens, but here comes Capital as we speak. They're going to get ready to come out here shortly. We love cowbells.
That's the beauty of football here in Ohio.
Yeah, Capital,
you get a lot of them.
They show up, they show out usually for this game, and all of their games, matter of fact. And we're used to hearing that cowbell a lot when Mount Union's here, but we hear it a lot when Capital is here as well. So you can never get used to it. You expect it, but you can never get used to it.
Oh, it is great. Every now and then we'll get a high school game where they'll have a siren, and if you're sitting right next to it, it's a long night. So I'm glad that we don't have anything like that for this game.
Good thing we're up here in the press box.
All right, we got both teams, their captains, meeting out in midfield. So we're going to go down to the field and direct our attention for the coin toss moments away.
Capital, you're the visiting team. What's your call? Tails is the call. It is a tail. You want the ball deferred. All right, deferred. All right, you guys want the ball? Which of you guys want to go? So you want to go that way? Put your back this way. All right. Capital is one and deferred. Heidelberg will receive with this end. Shake hands, let's play some football.
So Heidelberg University will get the football first here in the first half as Capital won the toss, the tails, and they deferred to the second half. So just like you said, Trey, we get a first opportunity to look at this Heidelberg offense here in the first half and see if they can start off quickly, just like you said, with our keys to the game.
And we'll also get an opportunity to see how Capital handles this pressure that Heidelberg provides on special teams. Are they going to kick right to Clairvaux? Are they going to kick to Haley? Or are they going to try to sky kick this thing up, maybe get a touchback? But we'll find out here shortly in these waning moments.
All right, 1 minute away from kickoff here, Herniman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio. Heidelberg University hosting the Capital Comets from Columbus, Ohio. We're going to take a short break. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if you wanted to take a quick break before we got into it. Okay, I think that's good. Sets us up nice. Welcome back to Tiffin, Ohio. Heidelberg University getting set to get the kickoff here as Capital won the coin toss, deferred to the second half. So we have a chance to see the Student Princes try to start fast, get things going here, and establish things well for this homecoming matchup that I know they've had circled all season long. Looking forward to it. I know we have. Of course, huge day. We've got alumni everywhere. We've got fraternities. They've got tents up everywhere. Franz Fieldhouse just opened up yesterday. Huge ribbing ceremony. And if you're on campus, tours going out at 5 all the way until 6 p.m. tonight. So you got to check it out. That fully funded, donor-funded facility is absolutely amazing. All right, back deep for the Student Princes. It looks like we've got Corbin Haley as well as Tyrese Clairvaux set to get the kick here as Capital's getting ready to get this game started. The kick is up and away, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And it's Clairvaux right at the line. He's going to take it up 15-20, and he's going to be wrestled down to the ground around the 23-yard line, and that's where we're going to get our first chance to see this Heidelberg Student Prince offense tonight.
That was a really good job there by Capital, getting that thing to the edge of the end zone, and then that kick coverage team able to wrap up Clairvaux before he could get going. I know that's a small thing that I've been harping on, but usually Heidelberg starts around that 35, 40, 45-yard line with the way that their two return specialists can get them in good field position.
Ty Portman, starting quarterback. He's been able to put up some touchdowns here in the last couple of weeks, but it's number 9, Drew Miller in the backfield, who's kind of been the showstopper. 239 yards against Calvin. It's a lot of yardage is a nice way to say it.
And a lot of carries nearing that 40 mark.
And fake to Miller, and they're going to throw it. It's going to be number 24, Solomon Sandoval, who's still going. Close to the first down marker. Strong gain for Sandoval on first down.
And Heidelberg starts with a first play trips look at the top near the Capital sideline. They go with an RPO look. They find Sandoval open. He's able to get 9 tough yards, so good start for Heidelberg.
Second and short for the Student Princes after a 9-yard pitch and catch to Sandoval. Portman from the shotgun. Miller behind him. Portman looking to pass. Pressure. Hit hard. Knocked down at the 25. And oh my goodness, that was a huge hit by number 7, Cyrus Burden.
And Burden came in there. Capital, we kind of harped on this, might bring some pressure. They disguised it for a little bit there. They showed it last minute. Heidelberg was able to rotate that protection to the right, but they failed to cover the other blitzing linebacker in Burden.
So what was second and short now turns into third and long for the Student Princes after a huge sack by Capital, and we might have somebody jump there. Portman looking to pass, and it's going to be number 1, Dimitri Peters. First down and more for the Student Princes.
That'll be a declined penalty. Going to have a Capital defender who jumped off sides there in that neutral zone infraction territory. But a good play there by Heidelberg with a free play.
Absolutely, and Peters, last time we saw him, it took a little before the Portman was able to start connecting with him, so nice to see him get some rhythm and momentum right off the bat here in the first drive. First and 10 after the declined penalty here. They're up to the 42-yard line after Peters catches it for a first down. Miller gets his first carry, and he's going to work his way up past the 45-yard line. Short gain. That'll bring up second down for the Student Princes.
Miller with the carry. Scott with the tackle.
You mentioned a lot of carries on that 239-yard performance. I believe it was 36 carries for that young man, so a lot of work for him. And, they have got some other ball carriers that certainly get a little action, but he's tops when it comes to Student Princes.
Yeah, and they're coming off a bye as well, so he hopefully has fresh legs for Heidelberg.
Miller again right up the middle there for about 2 yards, and that'll bring up third and short here for the Student Princes. They've got maybe 4 to 5 yards to go here. So big third down coming at you for Heidelberg University.
And unconventionally, we got a near complete 11-man change there for Capital on this third down and medium.
3rd and 4 officially from the 47. Heidelberg got those gray jerseys on tonight. Love the orange helmets. Poorman looking to pass, got pressure, going deep. Sandoval, the intended receiver, incomplete as he overshoots him, and that'll bring up 4th down for the Student Princes.
Really good job there by Capital once again, bringing in a few extra guys. They got a little bit of pressure on Poorman. He probably couldn't step into that throw the way that he wanted to with the defender in his face, and that's going to lead to an early Heidelberg punt here.
Sandoval targeted twice here on this drive. They were able to connect the first time and get some huge chunk yardage, but not able to connect there on the second one. So it's 4th and 4 from the 47-yard line, and the Student Princes are looking to punt the ball back to Capital.
And Capital pretty conservatively going to just play safe man here, pretty much lining up in what would be a typical defensive look with one person back to return.
Number 2, Bailey Johnson, back to return for Capital as they let it land right around the 16-yard line, and we'll get a chance to see this Comets offense for the first time this afternoon after a strong defensive stop for Capital.
And they actually have 2 listed running backs in that starting lineup. Kasim Johnson, number 4, and then at tailback, number 0, Trent Renz. That's probably more of a H-back, kind of fullback type. So they have some uniqueness that they could potentially provide in their offense, but we'll get a look at it here early in this first quarter.
Number 11, Tyler Love, starting quarterback there. Junior, 6'2", 195 pounds for Capital Comets. And Love looking to pass. He throws it. He's got his man. First down for the Comets as it's number 10, Wesley Armstead with a catch.
Yeah, Heidelberg running zone there, and eventually Love was able to go through his progressions, find the open receiver, and thread the needle into a tight window for a big Comets first down here as they try to push the pace and now substitute.
Armstead been a bright spot here as he's got about 160-plus yards and 3 touchdowns for the Comets through first 3 games of the season. And you see why he's such a favorite of Tyler Love right there as a first down for the Comets up at the 38-yard line. And they're going to hand it off, and he's got space. And Johnson, first down and more as he's across midfield, pushed out of bounds around the 45.
Really nice run there by Kasim Johnson. He was able to take it upfield, cut back around, get an extra blocker in there, and then pick up about 6 or 7 more yards. So once already Capital after 2 plays in Heidelberg territory.
Absolutely. Capital looking good here on this drive. 1st and 10 at the 45 as they're already across midfield. Their defense did an excellent job stalling out the Heidelberg offense, and now it's up to the Comets offense trying to put the first points of the afternoon up on the scoreboard. Love joined by Johnson in the backfield. Fake it to Johnson, looking to pass. Love airing it out and knocked away. Intercepted! There you have it. Heidelberg intercepted. That's exactly the type of play that they needed.
What an interception there. I believe it was 29, Xavier Weaver. And he's had a tough beginning of the year, especially with that matchup against Mishmerheisen last week. That's a big confidence booster for him.
Absolutely. As Nate Yunker, the intended receiver, unable to come down with it as Weaver batted the ball away and then found it right there in his lap. Interception by this Heidelberg defense. And they get the ball back. And this Heidelberg offense is going to have a little extra juice as you see Weaver down on the sideline sitting on that throne wearing the cape and his teammates huddling up around him.
And yeah, that interception almost serves as a deep punt for Capital here with Heidelberg way back in their own territory.
Miller's got some space up past the 20-yard line. First down for Heidelberg. And this is exactly what you want if you're a Student Prince fan. Get number 9 moving.
I'd like to see Heidelberg maybe push the pace a little bit here. Capital's defense did a lot of work on them there in that first possession, so I think trying to wear them out early would be beneficial.
6 plays, 23 yards on the first possession, forced to punt it away. See if they can have a different outcome on this one as Poorman rolls, and he connects. And it's going to be number 4, Cole Poorman, who catches it.
Yeah, he ruled him out of bounds, though, so
yeah.
He wasn't quite able to get that foot down in bounds. That was definitely a tight throw across Poorman's body, but little bit of a missed timing there on that route.
Yeah, they had the look that they wanted, but as you said there, Trey, not able to keep his feet in bounds, so it'll be 2nd and long for the Student Princes, going right back, Poorman to Poorman, and the ball's on the turf. Capital knocked it away after Poorman tried to turn it up, and Capital says they've got it.
What a nice punch out there.
And they do.
What a nice punch out there over on that end. I believe it was either Johnson or Sally, one of the two cornerbacks, that punched that ball out, but Poorman went to make a move, got around one player, and then an ongoing Capital defender was able to punch that one out from the side. So really good, technically sound defense there on that tackle by Capital.
And one of your keys to the game was discipline, and so far we've got an interception and a fumble, so they've exchanged turnovers here. And Capital thankful as they get the ball back right around the area that they had it to begin with before that costly interception. So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line after they stripped the ball away from Cole Poorman. Love throws it, nearly intercepted, as Heidelberg was all over that one.
Yeah, this game's getting pretty undisciplined early on. One of the other things we had said was capitalizing off turnovers, and so far neither team technically has been able to do so, as Capital almost turns it right back over to Heidelberg. So that would have been 3 turnovers in 4 plays.
It would have been a quick turnover indeed. Heidelberg only got 3 plays off before the fumble, and of course the Comets had 3 plays before the interception. So it's been a quick turnaround as Love, quarterback keeper, he's going to be drugged down to the ground around the 30-yard line, and that'll bring up a big 3rd down for the Comets.
And he took a hard shoulder right to his helmet there, and he's down. I saw him his head kind of jerked back as that impact was made. I believe it was Ferris, so he's in a lot of pain there.
All right, Tyler Love down after a hard hit. We're going to take a short injury timeout. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports.
I think Ferris.
Ferris?
I think.
For over a century, UIS Insurance and Investments has stood by families, businesses, and communities, offering trusted protection and guidance. From insurance coverage to investment planning, we're your one-stop shop for securing today and preparing for tomorrow. We're honored to continue that tradition as proud supporters of Heidelberg University. To the students, faculty, and alumni, thank you for letting us be a part of your community. UIS Insurance and Investments, protecting what matters most while helping you plan for the future.
Welcome back to Herneman Stadium in the heart of Heidelberg University. We've got 9 minutes and 17 seconds here in the first quarter. Zeros up on the scoreboard. Injury timeout down on the field as number 11 Tyler Love hit hard, able to walk off the field, which is good news, so we'll see if he gets back. In the meantime, number 7 Donovan Duncan replacing him, looking to pass as Duncan connects with his receiver number 10 Wesley Armstead. First down for the Comets.
Able to get a big first down there, even with the quarterback coming out of the game. So we'll see what kind of dynamic ability this junior Donovan Duncan could provide, but he hasn't gotten much run this year, so a little uncertain.
And Duncan staying in. We can kind of see on the far side of the field there, Love has his helmet back on, so he might be another play away. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line here for the Comets. After a fumble recovery, they're trying to make something of it. And I believe he caught it. Yeah, Nate Yunker, the receiver, able to scoop that low pass up. And here's Tyler Love back in the game. Although Donovan Duncan, two passes, two great connections, a first down, and they've got prime position here as it's 2nd down from, we'll call it the 15-yard line.
Yeah, red zone area here for Capital, so they're able to get that ball right in between that 15 and 17-yard line, and hopefully for them, and luckily for them, they can get another first down before they're in 1st and goal territory.
2nd and 6. Tyler Love from the shotgun. Yunker in motion, going to hand it off to Kasim Johnson. And Johnson's going to be hit right there at the line, and he's going to get a couple yards, but should be just short of that first down marker, so it'll be 3rd and short for Capital.
It's going to be about 1 full yard here, so maybe a long one. So Comet's probably going to go with some sort of heavier personnel, probably pick this up on the ground. But as I've already highlighted, sustaining the drives, this definitely should be 2-down territory for the Comets as they've been able to contain Heidelberg's offense so far.
3rd and maybe 1 or 2 from the 14-yard line here for Capital. Love from the shotgun. And it's Armstead who's behind him. Love hit, and I don't think he was able to get up to the first down marker as he was under duress immediately by this Heidelberg defense.
It looked like a potential screen to the outside. All the linemen kind of left or stood there, let Heidelberg get up to Love, but then he wasn't able to pick up any yards. He was forced to just tuck it and run, and Capital's going to actually go with the field goal attempt here after losing a few.
So 4th down here for the Comets as Love gets back into the game after a hard hit and then is hit again. So let's see what they can do. And it looks like it's going to be a 32-yard field goal attempt. It is up, got enough distance, but is it good? Yes, it is. 3-0 Comets after a big field goal for this offense. We're going to take a short break. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports.
A 50-50 raffle today. They will be making their way through the crowd. The drawing will be closed after halftime. As part of Heidelberg's ongoing 175th anniversary celebration, 1980 graduate Kathleen Orr is helping to organize the Heidelberg University Alumni and Friends Tour of Germany. Coinciding with the trip, planned for the Heidelberg Concert Choir and Band in May of 2026. The tour includes concerts in...
You're watching OAC football here from Heidelberg University, and it's number 91 Ty Bauman who got a 32-yard field goal. Those are the first points of the night as Capital has a 3-0 lead over Heidelberg. And, of course, all of this was possible because of the turnover that we had just a few minutes ago.
And Heidelberg had an opportunity off of the initial Capital turnover, and they were unable to do that. They turned it right back over to the Comets, who were able to execute, get 3 points off of that. I know they probably would have preferred a touchdown, but any points off a turnover is huge, especially points they probably should have already had if they didn't turn the ball over.
7 plays, 21 yards, and a field goal, and Capital has a 3-0 lead as Heidelberg's going to take it up to the 35-yard line, and that's where this offense comes back out, trying to make amends for the costly turnover that gave Capital those points.
And we'll see if they try to get the ball back to Cole Portman here to kind of bring confidence back in him as well, or if they start to try to go back to that run game. It seems like the Comets are doing a really good job of committing the necessary bodies on Drew Miller, so we'll see. But Heidelberg's going to start with a 2 tight end set here, both to the right of the quarterback Portman.
Miller, 3 carries, 19 yards so far tonight. So, yeah, he's been a bright spot for the Student Prince offense here. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Fake it to Miller. Portman going deep. He's got Peters open. Peters catches it at the 20. He's going to be knocked down around the 16-yard line. 1st down for Heidelberg.
Nice throw and beautiful catch there from Peters. Had to change his whole body and flip his hips around basically to completely catch that one. And Heidelberg in these big plays likes to push the pace, hurry up, and snap it.
Dimitri Peters with a huge catch. 1st down Heidelberg. They're going to give it back to Peters. He's got it. Touchdown, Student Princes.
Wow, what a...
Just like that.
What an RPO. They had me faked out. I thought Drew Miller had the ball. Next thing you know, it's going over Drew Miller's head to Peters. A beautiful high-point pass there from Portman. Gets it to his receiver, who snags that one out of the air and runs that one in for a Student Prince's touchdown.
Back-to-back catches by number 1, Dimitri Peters. And Heidelberg gets the first touchdown of the afternoon. As it stands 6-3, they erase that 3-point field goal pretty quickly here. And we'll see if the PAT, they're able to get that and extend it. Ramsdale PAT is good, so it's now 7-3 Heidelberg over Capital. You're watching Student Prince football on Flow Sports. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. You're watching Student Prince football here at Herneman Stadium at beautiful Heidelberg University, and it was the Dimitri Peters show on that last drive. 2 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown, and that's allowed Heidelberg University to have a 7-3 lead over the visiting Capital Comets.
And it's been a pretty, I don't want to say scrappy game, but kind of just a flawed game. Both teams turned the ball over, and now we've had 2 really quick scores, I should say, off of those 2 turnovers.
And just when we were saying you got to capitalize on turnovers, both teams do just that.
Yes.
All right, at Heidelberg, meanwhile, the special teams burying the Comets inside the 10 as number 2 Bailey Johnson nowhere to go on that return. So Comets got a little work cut out for them. They're going to have to go more than 90 yards to respond to that Heidelberg touchdown. Their last drive was 7 plays, 21 yards, which resulted in a 32-yard field goal. They're going to need a little bit more than that this time around.
They were actually more efficient on the previous drive where they did turn it over, the 3 plays, 37 yards, and then the brutal interception. So they were actually a lot more effective then, and we'll see what they do backed up deep in their own territory.
5:38 here in the first quarter. Heidelberg 7, Capital 3 as Love rolls out to his right, going to tuck it and slide after a short gain. That'll bring up second down for the Comets.
Yeah, Capital tried a play-action rollout there. No one was open, and eventually Love decided to just tuck it and run and pick up what he could, which was about just 1 or 2 yards.
And not a lot of options there if he was looking to pass it, so smart move just to tuck it and run. So it'll be 2nd and 8 officially from the 10-yard line here for Capital. 4 wideouts on this one. Love from the shotgun. They've got Armstead in motion. Love looks to his right, throws over his intended receiver, number 13, Nate Junker, and it looked like he might have got his hands on it, just not able to bring it down.
And Junker's, in my opinion, their best receiver. He was last year, and he was one of the OAC's better options as well at that position. So Love's going to try to force feed him the football when he can. He's got Weaver as his defensive back matchup, so that was just an errant throw. It was a little too high for his big target.
Junker and Armstead, the 2 pass catchers for Capital that have caught something today, so keep an eye on them. 3rd and 8 from the 10-yard line. Huge 3rd down for this defense as you've got flags flying in from all directions. It's going to be a false start on the offense. So what was 3rd and 8 is now going to be 3rd and much longer for the Comets, and they're going in the wrong direction, Trey.
Yeah, going in the wrong direction here. They have actually somehow managed to lose yards, already being backed up where they were. So this might be a chalk-it-up punt drive for them, maybe get a few extra yards for their punter, because Heidelberg will send pressure if Capital tries to punt this from this position on the field.
So they started at the 8-yard line. They're now at the 5-yard line. Love from the end zone looking to throw deep, and nothing but Heidelberg defenders in the area. And it's going to be an incomplete pass. And I think Preston Hanukkah was the intended receiver, although he was about 20 yards away.
Yeah, and he actually also fell right before that route. So I think that was the plan. Maybe it was an option route, a little bit of QB receiver miscommunication, but that was almost picked off by Manley as well, right at about midfield. So it would have been basically a punt for Capital.
And the punt team's going to come out here, 4th and 13 from the 5-yard line, and the punter literally right there at the edge of the end zone. And Heidelberg looking to capitalize on this field position as the punt is up and it's away. And you're going to have it brought out 45, across midfield, up to the 44-yard line on the other side. And it's Chase Woodruff with the return.
Really good return there by Woodruff. He had to back up a decent bit and then recollect himself before he got going. So he was able to field that and pick up about 10 to 12 yards. So that might be one of his better returns on the year. And in addition to that, a very good job by Capital not getting that thing blocked. Not a lot of room for the punter back there, so you got to be wary of stepping out of bounds by accident. And obviously, Heidelberg sending pressure.
That drive officially 3 plays, -3 yards. So Comets forced to punt it away, and Heidelberg has great field position as they're sitting at the 43-yard line after Woodruff's return. 4:30 here in the first quarter. Heidelberg 7-3. And there you have it. Willenick, he's going to get it, be pushed out of bounds around the 15-yard line. First down for Heidelberg.
Really nice throw and catch there again. Poorman to Willink this time, and that was another play action look for Heidelberg. So they're using Drew Miller a little bit more as a decoy early in this game, and it's been very successful so far.
The 6'3", 215-pound Willenick, huge catch. We've seen that week in and week out, and he gets a big first down, as it's going to be number 21, Bradshaw, who gets this one. He's going to be pushed out of bounds right around that first down marker. And Heidelberg's looking good, Trey.
Yeah, we're going to have an injury timeout here as well. Looks like it is one of the DBs up top, number 0, Bryson Roberts, the starting safety. So Bradshaw gave him a mean stiff arm for about 3 yards and then took him down on that sideline. And he was not able to get up. He's able to now. We'll get a quick substitute, but really nice throw and catch there as well. Getting it to Bradshaw, let him work, and eventually getting close to the sticks.
Last touchdown drive for Heidelberg, 2 plays, 64 yards. Took a whole 34 seconds for Dimitri Peters to score that touchdown. So pretty efficient there. And they're kind of picking up where they left off as they're moving the ball pretty quick. Drew Miller going to get this one. And he's going to be inside the 5-yard line. Still going. Is he in? Touchdown, Heidelberg.
We do have
Just
a flag.
like that.
We do have a flag at the 10-yard line. We'll see what it is. But Heidelberg went with an extra lineman there with 2 tight ends and ran a stretch play right to them. So Miller was able to break a tackle and dive in. But it looks like we're going to get a holding call here on Heidelberg.
So what was a Drew Miller touchdown run now is going to come back with that holding call. And we're going to do it over again.
And that's huge for Capital. They're able to push this thing back and make it a much longer second down. That'll be longer than what would be 2nd and 10 as well. So 2nd and 11. So that does change things for Heidelberg here a little bit, but they're still going to be aggressive and try to pick up that first down.
And I think you undersold it there, Trey. It's huge because it takes points off the board for Heidelberg and pushes them back. So this is a big swing. 2nd and 11 from the 17-yard line. Heidelberg leading 7-3 over Capital, hoping to add on to that. Poorman, pump fake, rolls to his right. He's looking deep, pointing, and he's going to be taken down behind the line. And the Capital defender slow to get up after hitting number 7, Ty Poorman.
He might have taken a shot somewhere in that midsection area. He kind of grimaced, grabbed at his stomach area. But that was a really nice wrap-up tackle in open space.
All right, we're going to take a short injury timeout here down on the field. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 seconds. And it was number 3, Jaden Carter, the senior, who was down on the field after hitting Ty Poorman. And he's slowly working his way back to the sideline here. Dominic Helmstetter, Tyrese Hastings, Trayvon Hastings. Sorry, Trey.
You're good. I take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
The speedy Clairvaux. Oh, man.
Yeah, so after a big hit on Poorman, we've got 3rd and 12 coming up from the 18-yard line for this Heidelberg offense.
Yeah, I thought right there Carter might have got the wind knocked out of him, but he's unable to stand up straight. So it's probably something with his ribs. But this is a huge 3rd down here for both teams.
And a little trickery here as Clairvaux reverses the field position, trying to make something out of nothing, but nowhere to go, as he's going to be taken down at the 25-yard line for a loss.
And I like the idea. Clairvaux isn't one to come into the game at receiver very often, so had to think something was up there if you are Capital, and I thought that was a pretty recognizable reverse play there. Clairvaux reversing field in the backfield to a handoff to the left side. So easy giveaway there for Heidelberg, but a big win for Capital after having points taken off the board for Heidelberg with the holding penalty. So that miscue is going to make this a pretty long field goal here for Ramsdale.
Well, it looks like it's a 42-yard attempt here for Ramsdale. We've seen him hit from here before as he's got the distance. Does he have the accuracy? No good as it's just wide. So after favorable field position, Heidelberg walks away with nothing on the missed field goal. And the score is going to remain 7-3 with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the first period of play.
That's a big stop for Capital. They were able to somehow take points off the board with Heidelberg deep in the red zone. And that's one of those momentum swinging moments that we talked about pregame that the Comets are going to need if they want to stay in this game and potentially pull off a win.
And after the Heidelberg defense did such a great job to stop this Comets offense and get the ball back for their offense, the Student Prince is just not able to do anything on that one. So first and 10 from the 25 is the Comets looking to make the most of it. And they're going to run it, and it's going to be number 4, Kasim Johnson, who's going to be pushed out of bounds.
Another nice run there to Johnson. Capital using a lot of him early in this game. As freshman linebacker Daniel Goodson got in the backfield for Heidelberg, but he was unable to wrap up Johnson. He ran right by him, but good penetration by the Student Prince's defense, but an unsuccessful result there. I think Capital will take the 6 yards every time.
2nd and 4 from the 31-yard line. Comets, huge defensive stop on the last drive to keep Heidelberg out of the end zone. See what they can do here to make the most of it. Love from the shotgun, looking to pass. He goes deep, and it's Armstead, his intended receiver, incomplete as he's double covered by this Student Prince defense the entire way.
Yeah, a little bit of a double cover look. There was a one receiver route to that direction, so both defenders lock on, and then the safety also was running over. So it almost turned into triple coverage, and that throw was definitely out and in front. So not the worst play call or play design, but it is going to leave it at 3rd and 4.
Comets at the 31-yard line. 3rd down. Fake it to Johnson. Love's going to have that quarterback keeper hit, taken down around the 35-yard line, very close to the first down marker. All depends on where the spot is, and he might be just short here, Trey.
He might be, and this could be an aggressive moment for the Comets. If they do want to go for it, they're going to have to also snap it before the end of the quarter, and they're going to elect to do the conservative approach here and punt the ball, but obviously the right move. If you're closer to midfield, going forward makes sense, but right here almost virtually gives Heidelberg 3 points.
And Chase Woodruff back for the Student Princes. He stands around the 25-yard line waiting for the punt here. 4th and 1 from the 34-yard line. Comets electing to kick the ball back and try to get themselves away from this half of the field, as a lot of these possessions have been right around midfield. And we've got a flag down there. And looks like it might be a delay of game as the play clock's at a 0. And that's exactly what it's going to be, as Comets are going to have to punt this one from, it looks like, the 29-yard line.
And over that interesting formation, they had 2 people back. We're going to see it again here to receive the punt. And then whoever elects to punt it is going to send that person out wide. So it actually was the punter, Bauman, who went out wide. So it might have been a fake there by Capital, but they weren't able to get it off.
Ball's up and away as Woodruff, fair catch right around the 37-yard line, and this Student Prince offense back onto the field. So Heidelberg doing a great job keeping the Comets in check. 3 plays, 9 yards, and they punt it away. And this Heidelberg offense, they got close. They had a touchdown, but it was negated by a penalty. And again, coming back to what you said earlier, discipline.
100%. That's got to be a brutal blow if you're Heidelberg. And even though the holding may not have been that severe, it gets called. So you got to find a way to come back and get points on the board, and they were unable to do that.
39 seconds here in the first quarter from Hernemann Stadium in the heart of Heidelberg University. Heidelberg with a 7-3 lead as Drew Miller catches the ball around the 45-yard line and pushed out of bounds. So that should, I thought, stop the clock, but we're still moving. 27 seconds. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Student Princes. Poorman all alone in the shotgun. Miller in motion. Going to throw it to Miller. He's got space. 45-50, first down and out of bounds for number 9, Drew Miller.
And Heidelberg went gun empty there. They motioned Miller back into the backfield, and Capital decided to bring pressure with only 5 in to protect and try to get to the quarterback, but that was an easy dump-off decision for Poorman and a good Heidelberg first down to end the first quarter with them up 7-3.
At the end of the first quarter of play here from Hernemann Stadium in Heidelberg University, Student Princess 7, Capital 3. We'll be right back here on Flow Sports. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. 30 seconds. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports here, and it's second quarter from Hernemann Stadium. And the Heidelberg University Student Princes, 17 plays, 155 yards of total offense here in the first quarter. And looking to add on to that, as you see, it looks like number 25 who's going to get that carry for the Heidelberg offense. And looks like it might be Shea Sparks, tailback there for Heidelberg. So 2nd and 6 after Sparks catches it. And that Heidelberg offense, doing a pretty decent job here, but they need to capitalize. And you're going to see Drew Miller, who's going to be taken down. And I think by Drew Miller standards, kind of a quiet afternoon so far.
Yeah, and Heidelberg hasn't ran the ball much. They are very efficient in the pass game so far, 147 yards in that first quarter. 8 for 10 was Ty Poorman, so Heidelberg's taking advantage of Capital through the air rather than on the ground.
8 yards of net rushing for Heidelberg there in the first quarter. Not exactly what you expect. Of course, some of that comes as a result of Clairvaux and Poorman kind of getting knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. So Drew Miller going to do the best he can. He gets around a tackler, 40-35, going to be drug out of bounds. First down for the Student Princes.
Nice run there by Drew Miller. That's what we expect out of him. He was able to bounce that one to the outside and just keep those legs churning, move the chains for a Student Princes first down.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line here for the Student Princes. As they're driving, hoping to capitalize on this one. Poorman fakes it, going deep. He's got Peters. Oh, just missed him. Number 1, Dimitri Peters, who had a touchdown catch earlier in the game, unable to bring that one in.
And it looked like he could have got that one with 2 hands. He went out with one. I have a feeling the sun could have got into his eyes there, despite him wearing a visor, and he might have lost track of the ball in flight. So it was another good play design, play action, deep shot, and they're trying to get Peters involved here early and often.
And he's had a huge game so far. 3 receptions, 81 yards, and a touchdown. A 47-yard strike was the big one there. And here you go. It's number 30 for the Student Princes. He's going to take it up 15-10. Is he going to get it in? No, he's going to be pushed out of bounds around the 4-yard line. There you go, Kalen Lemaster.
Now Heidelberg goes with an I formation there. They're going to hurry up here, back on the ball. Got it to Lemaster here, gave Drew Miller a quick breather, and he was able to take it deep into the red zone in here and in touchdown territory.
Huge run by Lemaster as they get inside the 5-yard line here. 1st and goal for Heidelberg. Poorman under center. Going to hand it off to Lemaster, who's hit behind the line of scrimmage. No gain. Great job there. Looks like number 27 got in on it, Landon Schuler. Got to bring up 2nd and goal for Heidelberg.
Student Princes tried to go with a misdirection counter run to the right side. blocking wasn't great. There was a few extra Capital defenders in there that helped negate any yardage. So this will be a 2nd and goal now from the 5.
LeMaster, 26-yard carry to get Heidelberg inside the 5, trying to finish it off here as he's still in the game. And they're going to give it to LeMaster, who jukes one defender but is hit by 4 more right around the 3-yard line. 3rd down for the Student Princes.
And this time, same formation. We get a Cole Portman motion across the formation. Heidelberg fakes the jet sweep handoff to him, and they again give it to Woodruff, who was able to pick up about a yard or so, yard and a half, maybe 2. But again, this Capital red zone defense has held up for the most part in this game, and they're going to look to here on this short 3rd and goal.
8 plays, 58 yards so far for the Heidelberg offense, knocking at the door, hoping to get this 3rd down conversion. And they're going to fake it. Portman rolls to his right, wide open, touchdown, Heidelberg. And it's going to be number 25, Shea Sparks, with the score.
A very nice play-action rollout design. Heidelberg using play-action heavily in this game. We get Portman rolling out. Good fake handoff there, kind of hides the ball. And then Sparks rolls out wide open for the Student Princes touchdown.
Absolutely. 13-3 after a Sparks touchdown catch for the Student Princes. 2nd passing touchdown of the afternoon for Portman. And this PAT is going to be up and in. So it's now no good, actually. So it'll remain 13-3 from Herdeman Stadium. We're going to take a short break. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. All right. You're watching Heidelberg Student Prince football here from Herdeman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio. And the Student Prince offense just marched down the field, 10 plays, 62 yards and a touchdown. Compliments of number 25, Shea Sparks. And that's where you get your 13-3 lead for the hometown team over the visiting Capital Comets. Dominic Helmstetter, Trayvon Hastings here, and we've had a pretty great game. A little defense sprinkled in there around some pretty good offensive sets here for Heidelberg, really. And the score really seems lower than what it should be if you're a Student Princes.
I was getting ready to say Heidelberg has dominated this game, especially statistically in terms of yardage, but what they haven't dominated is that scoreboard. And right now they are up 2 scores, but it feels like it should be more.
Comet's going to bring it out, and they're man, Bailey Johnson going to be hit hard around that 20-yard line. And we'll see how the Comets offense responds after their defense just gave up a huge touchdown drive to Heidelberg University.
Luckily for Capital, they aren't starting as deep in their own territory as they did that drive ago. So hopefully they can reestablish what they want to in this game. They are down 10 now, so we might see them try to air it out a little bit more, try to get the ball to Nate Yunker, as we have mentioned. But Kasim Johnson's had a nice day so far, 4 carries, 25 yards. Look for him to continue to be involved in the run game.
Tyler Love going to hand it off to Kasim Johnson, who's going to be taken down around the 25-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down for the Comets. Johnson has got 27 yards so far this morning, about a 6-yard average there. So he can be dangerous when given a little space. Heidelberg knows it, though. 2nd and 6 from the 25-yard line. Love rolls to his right, looking to pass the ball. Skips it at his receiver's feet. Finn Devine, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 3rd and long for the Comets.
And it felt like Devine was still trying to block there, so he didn't know it was intended for him. He went to break off of his route finally, and Love kind of just had to throw that one into the dirt. A little bit of a miscommunication, but it is just a 3rd and medium-ish long 3rd down here for Capital. I would say 3rd and 6.
Yeah, so 3rd and long from the 25-yard line here for Capital, and what they do not want to see is a quick 3 and out on this one, especially after giving up points. So this one matters here as you've got Armstead in motion. Love looking to pass. He's going to go deep. And he's got a receiver not able to connect as number 3, Divine, the intended receiver, incomplete, no flag. And that'll bring up 4th down for Capital.
It felt like the official wanted to throw his flag. He had his hand right there by that flag ready to throw it, and he elected not to. He conferred with the other official down here by the line of scrimmage on that Heidelberg sideline. But there was some early contact and a little bit of a wrap-up tackle there, so no flag, and Capital's going to be forced to punt this one away.
Divine back-to-back targets by his quarterback Tyler Love. Nothing to show for it. 4th and 6 from the 25-yard line as they're going to be forced to kick the ball away. And it looks like we've got Woodruff back again for Heidelberg, set to receive this one. High kick. Fair catch by Woodruff at the 40-yard line. And Heidelberg's going to get good field position again.
Once again, hovering around that midfield area, and that's really beneficial for Heidelberg. It opens up the entire playbook. They can do whatever they want here. They don't have to get a ton of yards for a field goal either, probably 20 to 25, and being on this side of midfield, I would say closer to 30 or 35. So they don't have to get a whole lot of yards every time if they want to try to get points on the board.
Last drive, Heidelberg went 10 plays, 62 yards, took 4 minutes off the clock, and it resulted with a Shea Sparks 3-yard touchdown catch from Ty Poorman. And that gave Heidelberg the 13-3 lead that you see here. So with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half here, they're going to look to add on to it. And, of course, Heidelberg, they got the ball first here in the first half as Capital wanted to wait and deferred to second half. So we'll see what happens as Poorman throws it. His intended receiver, number 21, Aiden Bradshaw, falls down incomplete.
Once again, it looked like another miscommunication. It also could have just been Poorman throwing that one away, getting rid of it. There was only 2 receivers running out on that one, potentially 3, and the only one to that side was Bradshaw, and he was very well covered.
So it'll be second down for the Student Princes at the 40-yard line. Got a 10-point lead over Capital, hoping to add on to it. Miller takes the handoff and works his way up past the 45-yard line, taken down right around the 46-yard line. Strong run by number 9, Drew Miller.
Very strong run. He's got 2 hands on that football as well, protecting it from a potential fumble. So this will shorten things up for Heidelberg once again, having a medium to short third down here, 3rd and 4.5.
Student Princes up to the 46-yard line here. And Miller fairly quiet, only about 40 yards to this first half. Poorman directing traffic, throwing deep, trying to connect with it. Looks like Bradshaw again, but not able to get it going. 4th down for Heidelberg.
Yeah, Poorman upset with himself there. Definitely tried to throw that one in and thread the needle, kind of drop it in that breadbasket for his receiver, but he overshot him and it ended up going out of bounds, and Heidelberg's going to elect to punt this one away here and continue to rely on that defense.
Defense has looked pretty good as they've been able to slow down and shut down this Comets offense here for the most part in the first half. Of course, Comets last 3 drives after their field goal, -3 yards in a punt, 4 yards in a punt, 4 yards in a punt. So this Heidelberg defense doing solid work against Capital. Fair catch there around the 14-yard line. And Nate Yunker catches it, and Capital offense back out onto the field.
And hopefully Capital can get more than a 3 and out here. Hopefully they can get a few first downs and try to find some sort of rhythm.
Yeah.
They've really been unable to. They had that first opening drive that they marched down the field on, but then they turned it over, got blessed with good field position off of the Heidelberg turnover. So they really haven't had a sustainable drive, which is what we talked about them needing to do.
Yeah, they got 37 yards on that first drive and really have not come close to that since. So we'll see what they do here. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Love from the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to number 4. And it's going to be number 4, Kasim Johnson. First down for Capital.
And that was a huge run. Johnson caught it, hit the hole, and went. And that's exactly what Capital needs in this moment. They just need to get a few first downs, try to wear out this Heidelberg defense.
Johnson, 29 yards before that big carry right there. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Comets looking to pass. Love, pressure, throws it, and he's got his receiver there, number 8, it appears. And that's close to a first down for the Comets. And it's going to be L.J. Haynes with the catch, the sophomore wide receiver. And he got a first down for Capital. So Love able to connect with Haynes. First and 10 from the 39-yard line, and they're starting to pick up the pace a little bit as Love rolls to his right, looking, throws it, and way out of bounds, incomplete, as Nate Yunker had no chance to catch that one.
No chance, and he wanted to scramble, but Heidelberg had a spy on him there in that short kind of sticks territory, so he wouldn't have been able to pick up much. I think it would have been worth it to maybe run towards that sideline, get a slide in, see if you can make Heidelberg hit you while sliding, maybe draw a penalty, but he's going to just throw that one out of bounds.
8 minutes, 35 seconds here in the first half. Heidelberg has a 13-3 lead over Capital, and Capital trying to tighten this game up with this offensive set is Love hit behind the line, sacked by this Heidelberg defense. Oh, my goodness. Nowhere to go as Mason Villarreal able to scoop him up and sack him behind that line for a big loss.
Yeah, Capital going with a read option look there, and Heidelberg sent some pressure. It was poorly blocked by the Comets, and they were able to swarm in, get a big tackle for loss there. So the huge TFL sets up a very long third down.
Absolutely. 3rd and 15 officially from the 35-yard line after a huge sack by this Heidelberg defense. Love rolls out, pressured again, throwing across his body, and knocked away as his intended receiver there. Nate Yunker was double-teamed, and Yunker has words with the official down there asking why he didn't get the call.
And he is a veteran receiver. He understands that there was some contact there. He could only get one arm up as well. A little bit of a hold by that Heidelberg safety room, but officials are letting him play a little bit. They didn't see much that warranted a flag. And once again, this busy Comets punt unit is back out there.
Tyler Love, incomplete pass to Yunker. 4th and 15 from the 35, and they're going to be forced to punt the ball away again. Woodruff, who's going to catch it at the 35-yard line, and Woodruff really, all he's had to do is catch the ball, and it's worked out pretty well as Heidelberg's had great field possession on pretty much every drive so far here in the first half.
It's going to be about a 35, 40-ish yard punt there, and so not bad by the Comets, but they still haven't had that big field flipping moment where they've gotten Heidelberg deep in their own territory. The one time they were able to actually do that off the interception, it turned into a turnover by Heidelberg and points. So Capital's got to find a way to keep Heidelberg out of this middle field start territory inside that 35 and beyond, because they're very successful when these drives start this far out.
Capital averaging about 37 yards during each of these punts, same as Heidelberg. So let's see what they can come up with. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line after a strong punt. It's going to be Drew Miller. Takes a handoff, hit behind the line, and that'll bring up 2nd and long for the Student Princes. Miller, 46 yards rushing here in the first half. Still looking for his first score of the afternoon, but his Student Princes have a 10-point lead over Capital. Miller again. Got some room on this one as he takes it up beyond the 40-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and short for the Student Princes as they want to keep this clock moving. Heidelberg has about 12 minutes on time of possession here in the first half. It's been a fairly even time of possession split, but Heidelberg clearly making more of it. 3rd and 4 from the 41-yard line. Poorman from the shotgun. He's got 4 wideouts, and Miller standing behind him in the backfield. And it's going to be Clairvaux moving in motion as it's going to be Sandoval who catches it. Should have enough for a first down. Indeed, excellent route by number 24 Solomon Sandoval as he ran the perfect route right at the first down marker. First down, Student Princes.
And he was able to dive out, make a lunging catch, possess that one, and keep possession of that ball for the first down. Heidelberg going to go to a set that they used a lot in this last game against Calvin, but they're going to go to this trips bunch look here and see if they can get a read on whether to throw it or run it.
Poorman hands it off to Miller. Miller works his way up close to midfield. Short gain. That'll bring up second down for Heidelberg. 5 minutes, 43 seconds left in the first half. Of course, you want to make sure that you stay tuned right here on Heidelberg Student Prince coverage. We're going to have the marching band there at halftime, and you're going to get to see every single bit of the show. So make sure you stay tuned here, about 5 minutes away from that halftime show. Poorman, Wilnick lowers his shoulder, first down and more for the Student Princes.
Another nice job after the catch for Willink. The last few weeks, he's really been running through guys when he catches that football. He's trying to set the tone and fire up that sideline, and he did a good job of it there.
Micah Wilnick, 6'3", 215-pound tight end, and I like that kind of running as Miller takes it up to the 33-yard line. Strong run on first down.
Miller with the carry. Second down.
Second and 6 here for Heidelberg. As it was Willink who got the first down moments ago. And then Miller picking up 4 yards on the last rush. They're up to the 34-yard line here. Miller going to – actually, it's not Miller this time.
Brylan Parker.
Yeah, there you go. That's a name we haven't seen a lot here. Parker with the carry, and he gets a first down for Heidelberg.
We saw him do a lot of damage at the end of the Hiram game as well in just 2 possessions, being the second leading rusher on the team in that contest. But he's a big power back, and when he's in the game, he's likely getting the ball. And Capital knows that there. They're able to get into the backfield for a loss. But Heidelberg's trying to keep these running backs fresh as well with it being so hot outside. Not a lot of wind, not a lot of breeze, and frankly a lot of humidity as well.
Parker, the freshman running back, listed at 5'11", 205 pounds for Heidelberg. So he's a bruiser right there. Getting a little run here. As you mentioned, about 86 degrees, which means it's going to be hotter down there on the turf.
Yeah, you probably add about 10 to 13 degrees down there.
3 minutes, 17 seconds here left in the second quarter. Heidelberg leads as Poorman rolls to his right, throws it out of bounds, and it was number 4, Cole Poorman in the area. Incomplete. That'll bring up a big third down for the Student Princes.
Heidelberg was able to pick up that blitz beautifully. Very nice pass pro block there by Parker, laying the smackdown on that blitzing linebacker for Capital. But Poorman just didn't have anybody open. He had to throw it away. So it's going to be another long third down here.
3rd and 13 officially from the 31-yard line for Heidelberg. Kind of right there on the edge of field goal range. So let's see what they're able to come up with. Try to shorten this one up and come away with more points. Poorman from the shotgun passing the ball. Intercepted. No, he dropped it. Number 1, DeMonte Sally had his hands on it, dropped it, and that'll be 4th down for Heidelberg as they got lucky.
I'll tell you what, if he was able to catch that one and stay balanced, he had a whole field of green right in front of him. He could have taken that one all the way back for a Capital touchdown, but he ended up somersaulting almost and losing the ball in the process of the catch.
Heidelberg's keeping the offense out there, 4th and 13 from the 31-yard line.
They may also just be trying to get him to jump off here with 3:03 left in the half. Capital starting with the ball in the second half. This could be an opportunity for Heidelberg to try to expand on that lead.
Willink, Sandoval in motion. Poorman, pressure, dumps it off. He got some space, 20, 15, 10, a little bit more. Dives for the end zone, just short. As Heidelberg dials up a huge 4th down conversion, and it's number 31, Parker, who dials it up and gets it.
And Heidelberg made the adjustment there to move all the receivers in a trip set to the top by that Capital sideline, and then
Poorman, quarterback keeper, and I think they may have false start or something down there, and Donaldson not happy with that one.
Yeah, that was a little interesting. Probably will be a false start.
Yeah, Heidelberg was trying to hurry up to the line and get Poorman on the quarterback keeper, and it's a false start for Heidelberg. So instead of first and goal from the 1, it's going to push them back to the 6-yard line here. And again, what could have been a touchdown taken off the scoreboard there with a penalty. We saw that in the first quarter. Miller had a huge touchdown taken away with a penalty. And you see it again here. This time, Poorman, touchdown taken away because of a penalty. Let's see if they can capitalize this time, though. 13-3, Heidelberg over Capital. 2 minutes and 16 seconds left in the quarter. Trying to capitalize. Poorman, quarterback keeper, upended, taken down around the 3-yard line. Second down for Heidelberg. They need these points. Capital gets the ball first in the second half. So these points do matter as they want to extend this lead that much more. And it looks like timeout down on the field. So we're going to take a timeout. You're watching Heidelberg football here on Flow Sports.
Your Heidelberg volleyball team has beaten Wilmington in 3 games.
Welcome back to Herniman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio. Heidelberg University, they are marching towards the end zone here. Of course, we're about 2 minutes away from halftime. We're going to have homecoming royalty out there at midfield. We're going to find out who the homecoming king and queen are, and that's going to be followed up by the band. You don't want to miss either of those events here as it's homecoming at Heidelberg. 13-3, Student Princes with the lead, hoping to add on to that. And it's number 31, Parker, who got Heidelberg up here inside the 5, and he might get a chance to finish it. This time they're going to give it to Poorman on the end around. Touchdown, Heidelberg, as number 4, Cole Poorman, gets it in for the score.
And earlier they faked a jet sweep to Poorman. They actually go to him here. He's able to squeeze that one in through the corner of the end zone by that front pylon for a touchdown. Heidelberg, after the big screen pass connection, on that 4th down, they were able to get inside the 5 and put this one in for a huge touchdown right before halftime, and they extend this game now to 3 possessions as long as this PAT goes in.
Yeah, absolutely. Started at around the 35-yard line. They've taken it 13 plays, 65 yards, and it's Poorman with the touchdown end around, and PAT is up, and this one is good. So it's going to be Heidelberg 20, Capital 3, with 1 minute, 56 seconds left in the half. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. We'll take a short break and be right back. $30? Okay. You're watching Heidelberg football here at Herniman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio, and it's the Student Princes who took a 13-play, 65-yard drive right down the field for a touchdown run by number 4, Cole Poorman. And Heidelberg has a commanding 20-3 lead over Capital. And Capital kind of coming into today hoping to get their first OAC victory, and it's going to look a little bit harder here with a 3-score deficit.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about that Heidelberg drive is they took so much time off the clock. They didn't give Capital a ton of time here, but they're going to get a big kick return.
And yeah, that's right. It's going to be number 18 who takes it out for for Capital. And Damian Marcel, the freshman wide receiver, with the return. Flag on the field, so let's see what this one's about. And we've had a few of those flags here today. Not what we want to see. And again, you mentioned discipline. And these flags, these penalties, we've had 2 on each team, and we'll see what this one's for.
Yeah, that one was around the area that Heidelberg kicked off from. So I believe it was like an offsides when they lined up. And so that's on Heidelberg. They'll also get pushed back another 5. So Capital gets gifted another 5 yards here after the big return as they try to get some sort of points on the board here heading into halftime and then getting the ball to start the second half. So this is a good momentum opportunity for the Comets.
So number 18, Damian Marcel, huge return for Capital, and add on 5 yards after the Heidelberg penalty. And they're sitting here at the 48-yard line, and it's going to be number 4, Johnson, who gets the carry, knocked out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Heidelberg defense, who's been so good all afternoon, and we've got another flag on the ground.
And that one's going to be a hold on Capital. That one will go backwards.
So Kasim Johnson's first down rush doesn't matter with the penalty, as they're going to replay first down, and it's going to push them back. And, going to be right at the 37-yard line. A big penalty here for Capital as they're headed in the wrong direction.
Once again here, and they have to be careful that they don't try these plays too quickly or they get 3 straight incomplete passes and give Heidelberg time to get the ball right back. So they'll have to find a way to get it short and on the ground.
Kasim Johnson takes the handoff, and he's going to be hit a couple of times right around the 40-yard line, and he's going to be taken down at the 42 after it's all said and done. And that'll be second and long for the Comets.
Second down.
And Junker wants to go. He's telling them, let's call it in. But Capital's got to be smart here and play this somewhat conservatively, because if they go too quickly, as I had mentioned, Heidelberg has that big playability with Peters in the passing game, and they'll be willing to call their timeouts if needed.
And Dimitri Peters, 81 yards so far in the first half and a touchdown. So you're right, big play capability galore for the Student Princes. You got to keep him on the sideline. 2nd and 16 from the 42-yard line. And they're going to hand it off. And it's going to be number 17 who picks it up and goes. It's going to be Brandon Hambrick, freshman tailback for the Comets.
And Coach Donaldson now is going to, as we kind of talked about, call timeout here, 49 seconds left. If this is a pass and this does go incomplete, Heidelberg is going to have a decent amount of time to try and get down the field for potentially a field goal attempt, and they'll only need 30 to 40 seconds to do that. And with 49 seconds on the clock, good chance they're going to get it with an incompletion here or a short gain here with about 40 to 35 seconds.
Yeah, so it'll be 3rd and 15 from the 43-yard line officially here. Really, Heidelberg's been able to do pretty great work here, push this Comets offense backwards for negative yards, and we just keep seeing that trend as last drive they had 20 yards and a punt. The drive before that, 4 yards and a punt, 4 yards and a punt, negative 3 yards and a punt. So the last 4 drives for the Comets really have not gone anywhere, netting them a total of 28 yards, if you want to call it that. So Heidelberg doing some work here, and if you're Donaldson, you're looking at that and you're thinking to yourself, let's get the ball back and put more points up.
Exactly. Capitals struggled to really contain Heidelberg at all in this game, so I don't blame him for the timeout.
Tyler Love going deep. He's got a man open, and it was number 4, Kasim Johnson, the intended receiver, incomplete as he overthrew him. And Johnson just kind of exasperated because they haven't been able to get anything to go.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice design there. Johnson, who's arguably their fastest player, able to split him out wide and run right through Heidelberg's zone coverage, but the throw was just a little too far out in front of him. He and his outstretched arms definitely could have made a dive attempt at the ball, but that was a tough throw and catch.
42 seconds left in the quarter. Heidelberg 20, Capital 3. Capital going to be forced to punt the ball away after another solid defensive stand by the Heidelberg Student Princes as they nearly get their hands on that punt. and Heidelberg's going to have to down it right around the 30-yard line. So 34 seconds and some change here. That's what Heidelberg's looking at, and they still have all their timeouts. So let's see what they can dial up and come up with. And one of the things you mentioned a little bit earlier, Trey, is number 1, Dimitri Peters, that big play capability. 1 score already here in the first half. Will he get another?
We'll see. They took a couple shots to him early in the first quarter. Again, they went to him underneath as well, so in that RPO game with some slants. But Heidelberg's going to have likely 4 receivers out for this entire drive and try to at least get to field goal range. So they're going to need to probably shoot for the 25-yard line if they want that to happen.
34 seconds away from halftime. Of course, you want to make sure you stay here on Flow Sports and watch Heidelberg football and the marching band. We've got homecoming royalty and the band performance coming at you in moments. So make sure you stay tuned right here on Flow Sports. Incomplete pass down there. Now 29 seconds to go in the first half. And Heidelberg, you wonder how much are they going to push it here to try to extend this lead against Capital.
I have a feeling this one might be a run play, and then they'll see from there. But they could air it out again, and they are going to.
Poorman tipped and intercepted. Intercepted by Bryson Roberts, and he's got some space. 30, 25, pushed out of bounds right around the 20-yard line, and Capital gets a big interception off of Ty Poorman.
Really nice job there, that underneath the zone depth route by that defender, able to tip that ball into the air right to Roberts at that safety position, and then he was able to pick up a ton of yards here. So Capital's obviously thinking points. That could be field goal, that could be touchdown, but they have enough time with their timeouts as well to do just about anything they want here, depending on how long the plays take.
Comets get their second turnover of the half. First quarter, they picked up a fumble. Here in the second quarter, interception, and the Comet offense sitting at the 20-yard line. 16 seconds left in the half, and they're gifted an opportunity to get some points before halftime. Love throws it, and did he stay in? I believe he did. Nate Yunker catches it and gets a few yards there, and the Comets going to get up to that line pretty quick here. 10 seconds left in the half here, and this is their last opportunity to put up some points. Of course, they're going to get the ball first in the second half, so if they can score here and then get the ball back, that's a big momentum swing.
100%, especially after another turnover by Heidelberg, and it's very important here that they're communicating with their kicker where he wants the ball in the event they do have to kick a field goal here with just 10 seconds left.
2nd and 5 from the 15-yard line. Armstead in motion. Johnson in motion. Love looking, rolling to his left. 5 seconds. He's running. He's going to go for it. He's going to be hit. He reaches out. He's just short, about a yard short, and depends on the clock, maybe a second. Zeros are up there right now, but we'll see what the actual spot is. And the officials are telling everybody to hold on a second. There might be 1 second, so maybe one more play as Love. Yes, indeed. They're going to put 1 second on the clock.
And that leaves a decision here for Capital. Do you try to just narrow this down by a possession, go into half down 2 scores?
I think
or are you going to go down? Or are you going to go down 3
Yeah.
scores here?
That's
So if they can punch this one into the end zone, then go into halftime and make it a touchdown and field goal, that would be a lot more beneficial for them than if it was 2 touchdowns. But both of those are still better than the 2 touchdowns and field goals. So I think they're going to be aggressive and try to punch this one in from just a yard out. But that's also a really tough angle to kick a field goal right there at that hash mark, as close as you can be for a field goal. It is a very tough kick. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Comets just say, we're going for it.
Tyler Love, a 14-yard scramble, getting the Comets up to the 1-yard line, and they put 1 second back on the clock. So Coach Foose, calls a timeout. They want to talk about it here, and everything you were just talking about, I'm sure they're having the same conversation down there, and it looks like they're keeping that offense out, so they're going for it.
And then we're going to get a timeout here for Heidelberg. They're also going to talk things over, probably get the right personnel out there. Can't really blame them. But Tyler Love, you mentioned his physique at the beginning in the pregame, 6'2", 195. He is a bigger quarterback. So having him potentially go under center and reach that thing over
Yeah.
would ideally make sense for Capital. Is that what they're going to do? I think it's unlikely, but we'll see what type of personnel both teams have out there. Maybe Capital throws a couple extra linemen in there.
Yeah.
Heidelberg might as well. So you got to be prepared for both the run and the pass, despite it being at the 1-yard line.
Love's got 5 rushes for 24 yards, about 4 yards roughly on average here. The biggest one came on the last one as he picked up 14 yards to give Capital prime field position at the 1-yard line. And this play will be the last play of the half. And both coaches, they're playing some chess down there, calling timeouts, trying to stop the other from doing what they want to do. 20-3, Heidelberg with a big lead over Capital. And Capital, are they going to get it? Touchdown Capital as they score right before half.
Big momentum swinger for them. They're going to get some confidence built up for their offense as they're going to go into halftime now down just 2 scores, and it'll be touchdown and field goal. We'll see if it's 11 or 10 after this PAT, but Bauman's 8 for 8 on the year on PATs.
So you're going to say he's going to make it?
We're going to broadcaster jinx here. He's going to miss.
Yeah. So Capital scores the touchdown, and the PAT is good.
No broadcaster curse.
Yeah, no curse here. So at halftime from Herdeman Stadium, it is Heidelberg 20, Capital 10. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. Make sure you come back here for the halftime show. We've got homecoming royalty and a band performance all coming at you from Herdeman Stadium at Heidelberg University.
Fans, please direct your attention to the field to meet this year's homecoming royalty. 50 years ago today, in 1975, Jesse Cole Kabuski, class of 1976, was crowned homecoming royalty here at Heidelberg. At that time, it was tradition for the crown to be returned after the celebration. Now, during this milestone year, as Heidelberg celebrates 175 years of tradition and transformation, we're proud to honor Jessie once again. And this time, she gets to keep the crown. Please join us in celebrating Jessie Cole Kabuski once again and forever. Homecoming royalty. Now, please welcome Carrie Copenhaver, a native of Bell Fountain, Ohio. Carrie majors in sports management with minors in communication, Spanish, and media. Carrie Copenhaver. Next, please welcome Josh Verdon, a native of Ingleside on the Bay, Texas. Josh majors in environmental science and sustainability and communications with a minor in business administration. He was nominated by the men's golf team. Josh Verdon. Please welcome Elias Franks, a native of Macomb, Ohio. Elias majors in business administration with a concentration in self-designed business administration. The minors in writing. She was nominated by the cheerleading team. Elias Franks. Now, please welcome Owen Frizzell, a native of Washington, New Jersey. Owen majors in psychology and criminology. He was nominated by the men's wrestling team. Owen Frizzell. Now, please welcome Cole Miller, a native of Newrigal, Ohio. Cole majors in music education and was nominated by the marching band. Cole Miller. Please welcome Ty Poorman, a native of Orlando, Florida. Ty majors in sports management and was nominated by the football team. Ty Poorman. Please welcome Ethan Riemann, a native of Arcanum, Ohio. Ethan majors in business administration with a minor in history. He was nominated by the track team. Ethan Riemann. Next, please welcome Abigail Stein, a native of Norwalk, Ohio. Abigail majors in biology with a pre-med concentration and holds a minor in chemistry. She was nominated by Scrubs. Abigail Stein. Now please welcome Riley Topol, a native of Plymouth, Michigan. Riley majors in marketing with a minors in communication and media. She was nominated by the volleyball team. Riley Topol. And now, please welcome Ellie Dressler, a native of Pickerington, Ohio. Ellie majors in early childhood education and minors in business. She was nominated by the softball team. Ellie Dressler. And here to crown this year's royalty, please welcome back the 2024 homecoming royalty, Taylor Ratliff and Carson Callahan. And now, the big moment. Your 2025 homecoming royalty are Ty Poorman and Abigail Stein. Congratulations, and how about a big round of applause for all of the royalty.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jurassic Bird. Today, the Heidelberg University Marching Band is joined by more than 20 alumni band members to perform some of your favorite dinosaur-related tunes. The alumni joining us today are Courtland Adams, 2023, Susan Barstow, 1974, Ethan Campbell, 2023, David Carey, 2021, Alexis Cook, 2018, Van Korfman, 1989, Daniel Korfman, 1987, Celia D. Trey, 2023, Christopher Durig, 2013, Rebecca Eppard, 2024, Kylie Hendricks, 2025, Jonathan Rothie-Hurst, 2022, Randall Mann, 1985, Carla Nisi, 1986, Art Page, 1984, Paul Reese, 2020, Gavin Robertson, 2023, Bertha Salcedo, 2025, Jenna Wagner, 2018, Dana Lieber, 1989, and Abby Yaris, 2025. The command binds today's journey with the breathtaking themes from John Williams' Jurassic Park and The Lost World. Step into a world of wonder, beware what lurks beyond the gates, and watch out for Raptors in the stands. Doesn't last forever. As creatures break free, the band unleashes the driving energy of Monster by Skillet, reminding us that sometimes the real danger is closer than what we think. We stomped, we clapped, we grooved into prehistory with the unforgettable hit by Was, Not Was. Open the door, get on the floor, it's time to walk. The dinosaur. born to be wild. Thank you. We hope you've enjoyed our Jurassic journey this afternoon. The Heidelberg University Marching Band is under the direction of Dr. Ben Herrick, with percussion advisor Scott Kretzer, and drum major Alicia Bennett. I'm your announcer, Doug DeVos, Band Alumni 1970, and my spotter, Linda May DeVos, Band Alumni 1972. Join us in 2 weeks for High School Band Day. Thank you, and go Birds!
Welcome back to Heidelberg football here on Flow Sports. It is halftime from Tiffin, Ohio at Herneman Stadium, and Heidelberg has a 20-10 lead over the visiting Capital Comets. All right, first half of play, it was a good one here. Let's go through all the scoring and get you caught up before we get into the second half. All right, it all started off with Capital having a huge drive, 7 plays, 21 yards, 3 minutes taken off the clock, and it resulted in a 32-yard Bauman field goal. Of course, Heidelberg then kind of took control of the game after that point. Dimitri Peters, he had 2 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown that erased that deficit immediately. And, of course, Heidelberg came right back, and it was Sparks with a 3-yard pass catch to give them another touchdown, 13-3 after a missed PAT. And then just for good measure, as they keep going in the second quarter here, it's going to be Cole Poorman, 3-yard rushing touchdown after a 13-play, 65-yard drive that took about 6 minutes off the clock, 20-3 at that point. And then it got a little crazy right before half as Capital was able to rally, get the ball back, and right around the 16-second marker there, they were able to march on into the end zone right before halftime. 20-10, that's your score here after the first half of play. Dominic Helmstetter, and I've got Trey Hastings here joining me, and we've had a pretty good OAC matchup here tonight. And they were joking me. I said it's a crisp October evening, and it's warm out there.
Not quite the evening yet either. I know I said tonight for the game earlier, but this is a closer game than I think it probably should be. Heidelberg definitely took care of business in the first half from, like I said, the yardage perspective, time of possession. They also won those money downs, 3rd and 4th down. Overall, 5 for 9 across those 2 downs. Capital just 1 for 7, but Heidelberg did have the 1 miscue in the red zone, and now we've got this kickoff here for Capital.
And they're going to take it out. Ball is loose. Who's going to get it? Heidelberg says they've got it. Capital not saying much.
I know what I saw. I'll give my analysis after, but
Heidelberg's holding on to the ball physically, and Capital's going to keep it.
So the ball popped out. I thought the runner was down to start things off. Not the point. The first Heidelberg player that came in touched it out of bounds, like their body was out. So it shouldn't have even been a discussion if the ref saw it. But there was a lot of bodies there, so that's what I saw initially. So if you're Capital, you're happy you have the football. They should have the football. But we had mentioned the touchdown right before half for Capital. See if they can build on that momentum here in the third quarter and try to get this to a 1-score game.
And this Heidelberg defense has looked good so far, barring the last 20 seconds of the half. They really shut down the Comets all afternoon. And here we go. It's going to be number 4, Kasim Johnson with a carry.
Johnson with the carry.
That'll put Johnson over 50 yards as well. He had 7 carries for 47 yards in the first half. Love had 20 as well on 5 carries. But that passing game for Capital has struggled. Just 3 of 13 for 36 yards and interception for the starter, Love. When the backup Donovan Duncan came in for a few plays, he went 2 for 2 for 14 yards, actually.
Yeah.
So the backup's been more efficient, and right now that offense has not gotten going in the passing attack.
2nd and 6. Pitching it to number 4, Kasim Johnson, who stumbles his way forward. Should be enough for a first down as Johnson helps the Comets convert. And we talked a little bit in the first half about momentum here. The Comets able to capitalize on a short field, and it was a huge scamper by number 11, Tyler Love, who set up the touchdown score for the Comets right before half. And then deferring to the second half, they get the ball first and hopefully going to do something here as Johnson gets another handoff. He twists and turns his way up to the 40-yard line. That'll be 2nd and long for the Comets.
Yeah, and for the Comets, they had 14 carries in that first half for 69 yards. Very efficient on the ground.
Yeah.
That's pretty much almost 5 per carry, so they'll be happy with that. But as I mentioned, that passing attack has limited them, and Heidelberg had almost triple the amount of yards as Capital. in that first half. So they'll have to find a way to lock things up better defensively, but it would help if the offense was able to sustain some drives and go from there.
2nd and 8 from the 40-yard line. Comets looking to make this an interesting game. Love going deep, and he's got his receiver. Did he catch it? I don't know. I think he did. I think Nate Junker held on to it. He did.
What a catch.
Nice catch by Junker as he reached around the defender to hold on to it. And the Comets, they're marching.
Beautifully thrown ball as well into the front shoulder of Junker, and he was able to kind of just go get it down by his knees and somehow came away with a miraculous catch as the Comets quickly in Student Prince's territory here.
Junker and Armstead, the leading receivers for the Comets this afternoon. Love rolls to his left, looking to pass, and it's going to be Armstead, the intended receiver. And you can hear the coaches in the side asking for a flag, and I didn't see a flag, so it's going to be incomplete. And the Comets are going to have 2nd and long coming up.
As that route turned upfield, Love delivered the ball. There was a little bit of a hold there by the defensive back on the receiver. That's what the coaching staff is asking for, and it's technically a correct call. The official probably didn't see enough, though, to warrant a flag.
Love, Johnson in the backfield. 3 split out, wide left. Johnson's going to take it right up the middle, 25-20 inside the 15-yard line. He's going to be wrestled down around the 12-yard line. First down for the Comets.
And Heidelberg actually got a man in the backfield, but that last-second fake throw by Love froze that interior defender, and then Johnson was able to take it up the middle into the red zone for Capital.
Johnson, again, another carry on this drive, and he's going to be wrestled to the ground at the 10-yard line. And I can't help but think here, first drive of the first half, Capital looked good and scored. So far, first drive of the second half, Capitals looked pretty good.
And by getting that touchdown at the end of the first half, they don't necessarily have to get touchdown here, but they do need to get points. So that would take it to a one-score game. And I think they would be happy with that considering how they've moved the ball to open up half number 2.
10-point deficit at the moment. Love rolls to his left. Looking to pass, looking. He's going to tuck it and run inside the 10, 5. He's going to be pushed out of bounds close to that first down marker. I think he's going to be marked just short, so that'll bring up 3rd and short for Capital.
Yeah, it's going to be about 3rd and 2, and we might get a similar play call as to what the Comets did at the end of the first half with that inside zone concept. They're going to go a heavier personnel unit, it looks like, and try to run this thing in the middle right at Heidelberg's interior D lineman.
So JoJo Gaines, actually it's Zion Solomon, the running back coming in, sophomore running back. He's going to get the carry, and Solomon is going to be taken down just inside the 5-yard line. He's probably short of the first down marker, so 4th and short for the Comets is Solomon unable to convert.
We're going to get the field goal team out here. I actually like this decision this time around. It's a really long 4th and 2. Heidelberg pretty much just stuffed that last run attempt. And at the end of the day, you want to get points here and make this a one-score game.
Yeah, Solomon's their big back, 5'11", 220, and he wasn't able to get it. So it's going to be 4th. We'll call it 4th and 2 from the 4. And their field goal is similar to a PAT, and it's up, and it is good. After the score, it's Heidelberg 20, Capital 13. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports.
Heidelberg is rolling out the laughter for the grand finale of its 175th anniversary celebration. Who better to bring down the house than comedy legend and distinguished alum, Brian Regan? Known across the country as your favorite comedian's favorite comedian, Brian is coming back to where it all began. He'll take the stage at Tiffin's Ritz Theater.
Welcome back to Herniman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio, and we've got a one-score game as Capital able to go 10 plays, 72 yards down there, kick a field goal, and it's now 20-13 Heidelberg with a one-score lead over the Comets. Dominic Helmstetter, Trayvon Hastings here for you. And this is a classic OAC matchup of two teams that are very familiar and just hate each other.
That is an accurate statement, I will say. It is dominated, though, by Heidelberg, historically speaking. So Capital's putting up a good fight, though, through about 2 and ish quarters. So we'll see what Heidelberg does here as they get the football.
And it looks like Clairvaux, perhaps. No, it's going to be
Haley.
Haley, yeah. Corbin Haley, who returns it up to maybe the, 13-yard line, perhaps. He's hit hard. So first half, he had Woodruff doing a lot of those returns, and you see Haley kind of returning to that role. Of course, we saw a lot of him in previous weeks, and he can be a dangerous individual when you give him a little space.
100%. He's had a game with 2 career kick return touchdowns in that same game. So he has the same ability that Clairvaux does on those kickoffs, and they both have to be accounted for.
All right, here we go. Second half underway for Heidelberg. 1st and 10 from the 13. Poorman, I believe Haley joining him. Or no, it's going to be Miller. And Miller's going to take it up to the 15-yard line. Short gain. 2nd down for the Student Princes. Miller, 58 yards rushing in the first half. Looking to add on to that here in the second. 2nd and 8 from the 15-yard line. Heidelberg holding on to a 1-score lead. Miller, he's got some space, but will be hit at the 15. Nowhere to go. Looked like for a brief moment he had some room, and then the defense just closed in on him in a hurry.
And then we're going to get that line change that we saw at the beginning of the game. 7 new players out there for Capital in this passing situation on 3rd down. So they like to have a sub-package pass unit and a sub-package rush unit. They're going to go with the pass unit here, all stand-up rushers.
3 wide receivers on the field for Heidelberg. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Peters is the one who's got single coverage on the left. Poorman going to throw it out to Miller. Miller, 20. He's going to be hit. And he should be close to the 1st down marker. Yes, indeed. 1st down, Drew Miller.
Big time hit, though, by Capital, trying to send a message. Obviously, keep Miller from getting the yards. But Miller remains unaccounted for in the receiving game on those short yardage pass attempts.
1st and 10 from the 23-yard line after Miller converts. And it's going to be a Ty Poorman quarterback keeper. He's going to be hit and should have enough for another 1st down for the Student Prince offense.
That's a big QB run-in. Would like to see him slide more, but that was a rare read option pull by Poorman. He keeps the ball there, and he's able to pick up a huge 1st down for Heidelberg's offense.
1st and 10 from the 39-yard line after a huge quarterback keeper by Ty Poorman. Gives him another 1st down here on this drive. Going to fake it. Poorman's going deep. Peters kind of held up by the defense, incomplete as they overthrow number 1, Dimitri Peters.
And the safety Roberts had a play on the ball, and he kind of just stopped short and kind of served as a roadblock for Peters. You want to let him get to the ball. He should have been aggressive there, tried to pick that one off and get another turnover for Capital's defense.
After the incomplete pass, it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line here. Heidelberg trying to respond after Capital marched down the field and got a field goal to give them their 13 points. Fake to Miller. Willink rumbles his way up to midfield, and oh my goodness, is he a rough guy. And flags flying everywhere as he just puts his shoulder down. Words and shoving included. So let's see what this one's on.
You would think it would go against Heidelberg here. Willink was the one that initiated all the out-of-bounds contact there. Even though it wasn't much, it was kind of just a push-off. The officials saw that one. They're going to throw that flag.
Michael Willink, 6'3", 215, big fella.
And hard to bring down, and we saw it there. That tackle went from out-of-bounds into that Heidelberg sideline, past the white line as well.
And waiting for the official announcement down on the field. Got to help each other turn that microphone on. Well, we can't hear it, but it is going to be on Heidelberg here.
Personal foul against Heidelberg.
So personal foul on Heidelberg. And that's going to be on Micah Willink. So I think it's going to be first down, I believe. But they're pushed back. So 1st and 10, I think, from the 39-yard line after the penalty. Two wideouts to the right. Peters, single coverage at the bottom of the screen. Miller going to get it. 40, 45, he's got space. 50, 45, gets around a couple defenders. He's going to be hit hard, taken down at the 34-yard line. Drew Miller, first down run.
And that's the first really big run that Miller has had all game. Heidelberg goes with a counter run concept, and he's able to bust that one through the line for a big Student Prince first down once again here as they're in Capital territory.
Looks like Haley's going to be in the backfield with Poorman here. 1st and 10 after a huge Drew Miller run to set Heidelberg up nicely at the 34-yard line. Poorman to Peters. 25-20. He's going to be hit right down there at the 20-yard line. Another first down for Heidelberg.
And that was a really good anticipated throw by Poorman. Capital brings pressure. Once again, he's able to recollect himself, fake that handoff to Haley, and then throw it short to Peters.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line after Peters is able to catch it and convert. Haley gets the handoff, tripped up at the line, and taken down to the ground around the 20-yard line. So that'll bring up 2nd and long for the Student Princes. Heidelberg looking to respond after Capital got a field goal to start the second half. Heidelberg hoping to do a little bit more than just a field goal, though. Second and 9. Poorman and Haley in the backfield. Poorman gives it to Haley. He's got space. 15, still moving. Up to the 12. Getting close to the first down marker. Might be about half a yard short here, Trey.
Just about, and Heidelberg may go under center here, just pick up these yards, but it's enough to go into shotgun like they prefer to. Could see some I formation as well. If they don't pick it up here, they'll definitely go for it on the following down.
3rd and short for Heidelberg. They're up to the 13-yard line here. Poorman going to give it to Haley, and looks like Poorman kind of slipped or tripped. Ran into the ball carrier a little bit there. I don't think he got nearly enough for the first.
Might have shaken up his leg a little bit. He's trying to wiggle that one off. A little bit of a hobble there. But Heidelberg's going to stay out there offensively, so this ensuing 4th down is going to be an offensive attempt.
They've got to get up to the 12-yard line here to get a first down, so it's 4th and 4 officially after they're able to knock Haley down for a loss. This is a big 4th down for this Comets defense. They need to stop. Pressure. Poorman gets it to Haley. Haley dives for the end zone. Is he in? Touchdown, Heidelberg!
Another short dump off to a running back. Capital doesn't have Haley accounted for, and he's able to dive to the pylon for a Student Prince's touchdown and retakes that lead, making it like 2 scores now instead of just the 1.
Number 5, Corbin Haley with a 16-yard touchdown catch allows Heidelberg to regain a 2-score lead here in the second half. PAT, it is up, and it is good officially. 4-12 here in the third quarter. Heidelberg now 27-13 over Capital. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports.
Capital 13. Hey folks, we have a winner in the Student Athletic Advisory Committee's 50-50 raffle. The winner's share of the pot today is $550. The winning number, 734897. Please meet the SAC representative under the press box bridge on the pond end of the stadium. Again, the winning ticket number 734897. Please meet the SAC rep.
Welcome back to Tiffin, Ohio. We're here at Heidelberg University at Hernemann Stadium, and after 12 plays and 87 yards, the Student Princes respond to a Comet score with a touchdown of their own, and they've got a 27-13 lead over the Capital Comets. That was an excellent, excellent drive, capped off by Corbin Haley. 16-yard touchdown catch, and it's just the type of beginning that you want here in the second half.
Yeah, Capital goes down. They get a field goal. They elect to play conservatively, just put some points up on the board. But Heidelberg gets aggressive on fourth down, and they get a touchdown.
Nice return here by Capital as they take it out right to the 23-yard line. And this is where the Comets offense going to come back out, and a little bit more pressure. What was a one-score game now back to a two-score game. And Comets, they've got to come away with more than just field goals, and that's something that we kind of talked about before during halftime. They can't just have field goals if they want to get back into this.
100%. We talked about them sustaining drives, but ideally you want 7 points instead of 3, and they've had now 2 drives with 3 as we get a short run that goes backwards by Johnson.
Johnson with the carry. Williams with the stop.
So Kasim Johnson, their leading rusher here, he's got 11 attempts, 69 yards. His long on the evening is 17 yards. So he's getting a lot of work, a lot of look. And they got the big tailback in there, Solomon, number 21, the bruiser, about 220 pounds, as he's going to take the ball. And he's just going to work his way up to the 23.
With the carry. With the stop.
And Solomon, kind of a no-nonsense kind of runner. He gets it. He just goes forward, and just a big fella, hard to take down.
Yeah, and you can see from here how big he is. And you would expect him to be a downhill runner, not one that's probably too quick, 5'11", 220 pounds, but he's definitely one that's hard to tackle.
3rd and 9 from the 23-yard line here. Love from the shotgun, has pressure. Gets away, rolls to his right, looks deep, incomplete as Nate Yunker, the intended receiver, unable to adjust on that long pass.
I think Love wanted Yunker to go downfield, maybe follow the ball and track it, but he kind of just stood where he was right in front of that defensive back, and it ended up being a throw out of bounds near that Heidelberg sideline.
So it'll bring up a big 4th down for Capital, 4th and 9 officially. From the 23-yard line, they're going to have to punt the ball back. And it looks like Woodruff back deep for Heidelberg. Ooh, nearly blocked it there. And Chase Woodruff, fair catch at the 35. Goodness. Heidelberg special teams were gunning for it.
And they only brought 3 there. And it appears like it was the freshman Jelani Reams, the linebacker, got in there and made a diving effort. He almost got through there for a block. Heidelberg didn't really send any pressure as well, so that'll be something that those up men for Capital will need to address on future punts.
So the Heidelberg defense comes up clutch. 3 plays, 1 yard given up, and this offense gets it back. And, of course, this offense was able to string together a 12-play touchdown drive on the first possession of the second half. Let's see if they can continue that momentum as they've got 1st and 10 at the 35. Poorman gives it to Miller. Miller hit behind the line, taken down for a loss.
And don't expect Heidelberg to be in much of a hurry here. Definitely play some ball control, manage that clock, and also try to wear out Capital's defense, if not already more.
2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Heidelberg 2-score lead. Poorman Gives it to Miller. Miller, one man to beat, gets around him. 35-40, he's got space. 50, he's going to work his way back in and slip as he's going to fall down at the 44-yard line. Great cut, great run by number 9, Drew Miller.
And again, he's able to get another big run here. It feels like Heidelberg's O-line is starting to win that battle against the Capital D-line, and that's opening up some running holes for Heidelberg's rushing attack.
1st and 10 from the 49-yard line as Miller able to work his way across midfield and give Heidelberg some great field position as they continue this drive. He gets another handoff, and he bounces off a couple defenders and taken down at the 40. Man, he's like a little ping pong ball down there.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how much smaller that he is than a typical back, but he's able to run through the tackles just as effectively and bounce off a lot of defenders.
5'7", 165. That's what Drew Miller's listed at. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6 from the 40, and it's Willink who catches the ball. And, of course, Willink, the center of controversy on the last drive, as he had a huge flag after a big catch. And there's another flag down on the field. I don't think they're related, though. It's going to be on Heidelberg.
It's going to be a hold on Heidelberg.
So Willink's catch negated by the penalty. And it looks like they're going to push it back to midfield. Yeah, the ball's going to be placed at the 50, so it's going to be 2nd and 16 for Heidelberg as they're right there at midfield. Penalties kind of a big problem here. 4 penalties, 35 yards here so far tonight for Heidelberg, so something to clean up, something to work on as Miller gets the handoff and patiently works his way up to the 45-yard line.
We'll see if this might be 2-down territory for Heidelberg as well. They're in that in-between. They're on the capital side of the field. It's too far for a field goal, probably too close for a punt. So if Heidelberg's able to pick up some sort of yards here, expect a 4th down attempt.
10 seconds left on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. And they may just let it wind on down and contemplate what they want to do for this 3rd down when it's zeros. Yes, it is. All right, after 3 quarters of play here from Herniman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio, it's Heidelberg 27, Capital 13. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. Okay.
Testing.
You're watching Heidelberg University football as they take on the Capital Comets from Columbus, Ohio. And Heidelberg, after 3 quarters, has a 27-13 lead over the Comets. And it's Heidelberg who has a big 3rd down coming up here at the 44-yard line as they look to extend it. Poorman rolls to his right, throws, and is able to connect as a flag down on the field. And it was number 3, Mason Mossbarger, who got the catch.
Nice little catch there by Mossberger. He was able to flip his body around, catch the one behind him. But we're going to get offensive OP pass interference here.
That's another penalty for Heidelberg, their 6th tonight. And that's another costly one.
Yeah, a couple of these penalties have stunted a few of their drives, and they've stalled out after those penalties. And unfortunately for them in this situation, it becomes an extremely long third down. So we'll probably see a pretty conservative play call, like a halfback draw, just to give a little bit more room for that punter to try to pin that thing inside the 20.
Officially a 3rd and 27 down coming up here for Heidelberg after the big penalty. Their 6th of the afternoon. 2-score lead for Heidelberg, but I'm not sure this drive seems to kind of stop and start quite a bit. I'm not sure what they're going to get out of it. Here we go, 3rd down. Poorman fakes it to Haley, has pressure, rolls to his right, throws deep. Peters, he got it. No, he dropped it. Incomplete. Number 1, Dimitri Peters, the intended receiver, unable to hold on to it. And that'll be 4th down for the Student Princes.
It's a really good job by Poorman getting that thing up and giving his receiver an opportunity to make a play. Unfortunately, it was tight double coverage. Peters wasn't able to hold on to it. Probably wasn't in bounds either. And that's going to be a Heidelberg punt here. Not quite as rare as it's been for Capital, but they haven't punted too many times.
Heidelberg's punted twice this afternoon, averaging about 37 yards per punt, so this will be number 3. And it's going to be Bailey Johnson back for the fair catch, and he's going to get it right around the 30-yard line, and the Comets able to stop Heidelberg, keep them out of the end zone after a series of penalties, and this offense give them another opportunity to try to put some points up there. Of course, their last scoring drive resulted in 3 points with a 21-yard Bauman field goal.
Yeah, so every Capital drive has been 3 plays interception, 7 plays field goal, 3 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays, all punts, 5 plays punt. They did have the 3-play touchdown drive after the turnover, but then also went 10 plays for a field goal and then another 3-play punt possession. So a lot of 3-and-outs here for Capital. We're going to get a short run here.
It looks like Wesley Armstead with a carry.
But they've very much been 3-and-outs most of the day, so they haven't been very successful unless they've been gifted with a short field by Heidelberg.
And they certainly do not have that here, as they still have another 70 yards to go if they want to get in the end zone. So 2nd and 8 from the 31-yard line here for the Comets. Solomon in the backfield gets the carry, and he's going to work his way up to the 35-yard line, so that'll bring up 3rd and short for Capital. And you see Kasim Johnson coming back into the game, the lead rusher here for Capital. Of course, Johnson's got 67 yards rushing so far this afternoon on 12 attempts. 3rd and 4 from the 36. Love passing. He's got Armstead. 1st down for the Comets.
And Armstead runs a short curl route there in the zone. Love goes through his progressions left to right, eventually finds Armstead, gets him the football, and that'll move the chains for the Comets, something they have not done as much as they would have liked today.
That's only Armstead's 3rd catch of the afternoon, which is kind of surprising as he's been targeted quite a bit more.
He's 2 of 4 on the catches versus the targets. Yonker's been targeted 9 times and has just 3 catches. So it's been a tough day for him. A lot of those have been throwaways in his area, but they can't get him the football.
1st and 10 from the 45. Love hit behind the line for a sack. Oh my good, there are 4 defenders all over Tyler Love, and he had nowhere to go, and he is still down on the ground.
Yeah, he got absolutely walloped there by the entirety of the Heidelberg front 7, so he's down, not moving much.
And yeah, Tyler Love took a hard hit. Let's take an injury timeout here as we check in on him. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. 60, okay. 60. And we're back as a quick pass to Kazim Johnson. And he's got space. 40 slips up down at the 37-yard line. Of course, we had an injury timeout a moment ago as number 11, Tyler Love, was hit really hard by the Heidelberg defense. He was able to walk off the field under his own power, but kind of favoring the left side, I guess is the best way to put it. And he's just been taking hits all night long. So it's going to be number 7, Donovan Duncan, who's in at quarterback. And Duncan, 3 for 3 today, passing the ball.
Yeah, and he just came in through a short screen to Kasim Johnson. Unfortunately, another comment down here, one of the O-linemen. He's also favoring that left side, probably his shoulder. So the Comets starting to get beat up by injuries here a little bit.
Looks like it might be number 65, Will Atkins. And, so after he's able to walk off the field, we're going to have a 3rd and short coming up for Capital here. And you said it, I mean, with the extra heat down there on the turf and kind of a long day of just hitting each other, this offense starting to wear down a little bit.
Just a little bit, and we're going to see how this offense looks with Duncan back there. He's actually been more successful throwing the ball day to day than Love has.
So it'll be 3rd and 2, and here we go as Nate Junker gets the catch. And he's going to be short of the first down marker as there's a little extra pushing and shoving, and there goes the flag. And we've seen this a couple times tonight. So Junker kind of flexing there as he walks back out to the huddle. And I think he's yep, it's going to be on Heidelberg. Thomas Zakarko called on the unsportsmanlike, and that's going to give Capital a first down. And you could just see Armstead as he was walking out seemed pretty happy with how things ended because he knew he was short.
Yeah, 100%. Capital would likely be in 4-down territory there anyway with it being 4th and 1, but now they get a fresh set of chains.
And it's Duncan who throws it. And man, Duncan can really toss the ball. Donovan Duncan, Jr., 6'2", 215. He looks every bit at 215 pounds. Solid quarterback. And he's been throwing the ball pretty good. That's his first incompletion as he was going for it all.
Yeah, they tried to take a shot deep after the penalty. But those 3 completions, as we've highlighted, they were all short, trying to get him into a rhythm. Both times he was coming in temporarily for Love. I don't know if we'll see Love back in this game, unfortunately, but Duncan has the keys to the offense for now.
Duncan, Solomon in the shotgun. Duncan rolls to his right, going to keep it, and he's going to run. And you can't arm tackle this fella as he goes down inside the 20. He got around a couple would-be tacklers, and now we've got a Heidelberg player down on the field. Might just be cramping up. It looks like number 29, Xavier Weaver, who's down there. Let's take a short injury timeout. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. Okay, 15.
All right.
Welcome back to Herniman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio. Heidelberg has a 27-13 lead over Capital, but it's Capital right now who's threatening as they're inside the 20-yard line, and they've got a big 3rd and 6 coming up here after an injury on the field.
And they've got their starting quarterback back out there here as Love's going to roll out.
And he's going to throw it, and he's got his man. Yeah, he did. He caught it. Preston Hanukkah, first down for Capital.
What a tight window throw there by Love. He kind of just throws it up over the defense, and his receiver is able to go get the ball. So another huge opportunity here for the Comets, but they need a touchdown.
Absolutely. First and goal from the 6, and it's going to be Solomon, the big guy, taking it right up the middle. And he's going to be taken down at the 3-yard line. And I know we keep saying it, but Solomon, he's the big back. And no-nonsense kind of runner, just puts his shoulder down and runs.
And we're going to see him likely stay in here as well. I'd like to see them have both backs out there because I think they could have a lot of versatility, but they're going to roll just one.
Love gives it to Solomon. Solomon hit behind the line and got maybe a yard on it, so it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line for Capital. 9 minutes, 44 seconds left in the game. And Capital has a 2-score deficit, so this is touchdown territory, just like you said, Trey.
2-score deficit and 2 downs to get virtually 1 to 2 yards here.
Solomon still in the backfield. And it's going to be Armstead in motion. Love going to be hit and taken down for a sack. Hey, Nick Jacoby with a huge sack on 3rd down. And that gets Capital way out of the way in terms of trying to score a touchdown.
And that's going to make this 4th down much harder. So what a play there by Jacoby, though. He was able to come off the left side, and Love thought he had an easy rollout. He truly did not.
Great open field sack by number 31, Jacoby. And one of the things I love about watching him play is his hair just flies all over the place.
Yeah, Troy Polamalu for you?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I was thinking the same thing, but Troy Polamalu's been out of the league for a while now. I wonder if people miss the reference.
Well, I know. I'm aware. One of the best safeties in the history of football right
absolutely.
there.
So much fun to watch. Heartbeat of that defense for the Steelers for years. After the sack, it pushes Capital back to the 15-yard line, so it's 4th down and goal from the 15. And Capital bringing their offense back out, and going to be a Heidelberg timeout as Coach Donaldson wants to look at it. So timeout down on the field means timeout up here in the booth. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports.
We invite everyone to check in out today while you're here on campus. Our $27.4 million facility, fully funded by donors, includes an indoor track, indoor turf, and a vibrant weight room. A guided tour will depart from the main lobby at 5 p.m. today. We hope to see you there.
It's a big 4th down coming at you with 8 minutes and 58 seconds left in the game. Heidelberg has a 27-13 lead over Capital, and timeout was by Heidelberg, giving Capital kind of an opportunity to get things together. Now, they've been trying to run it in, but a huge sack by Jacoby pushes them out. So what are they going to do here? Are they going to throw it? They're going to just try to get it in the end zone, get some space? What do you think there, Trey?
I think Heidelberg should bring pressure, make this a little bit tougher of a throw to make, but Heidelberg having some substitution issues. That timeout was called because they were thinking field goal.
It might be another timeout down here. Or maybe the clock. And it could be a clock or a timeout. It looks like it might be an official timeout.
Game clock to 8:58, and we'll start on the snap.
All right, there we go. So officials asking to put 2 more seconds on the clock, so it'll be 8:58. And we've got 4th and 15. 4th and a goal coming from the 15-yard line here for Capital. Yeah, working on the clock here. So you were saying Heidelberg might bring the house and try to apply pressure here on Tyler Love, who's been very elusive, a dual-threat quarterback all night long, but he's also been hit a lot.
Yeah, he has, and I think Capital had an opportunity there with that rollout. I think they had an opportunity to potentially get a big play, get a touchdown, try to get Heidelberg sleeping, but Heidelberg sent pressure. They got a huge sack, and now we're going to get a Capital timeout.
Capital timeout, so we'll take a timeout. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports.
The back official didn't like that. Told him you were wrong. Well, that's what I'm saying. The back official told the white hat he was wrong. On the snap.
Welcome back to Tiffin, Ohio, here at Hernemann Stadium in the heart of Heidelberg University. And the Student Princes have a 27-13 lead over Capital. And after a Capital timeout down on the field, we've got a huge 4th and goal coming to you from the 15-yard line. Of course, they were pushed back to the 15-yard line after a big Jacoby sack. And, oh, goodness, a flag coming in from the far side of the field as Tyler Love tries to connect with Kasim Johnson. Incomplete. And let's wait and see what happens with the flag.
The official signaled holding, so this might be on Heidelberg. It is, and that's going to bail out Capital. They had a nice throw and catch to Johnson just out of his reach, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be a first down here for the Comets.
And Donaldson unhappy on the sideline there as you had Capital exactly where you wanted them. Incomplete pass on a big 4th down, so instead it's going to be first down, and the penalty helps bring them up to the 7-yard line, and they get 4 opportunities to score the ball.
And after that wild sequence and the long stoppage of play, Capital's able to somehow muster up a way to get a first down, even if it is with the help of Heidelberg.
Take them the way, however you can get them, All right, 1st and goal from the 7. Love rolls to his right, throws the ball out of bounds, incomplete, as Yunker was the intended receiver.
Pass intended for Yunker is incomplete.
2nd and goal from the 8. And Capital just taking shot after shot, trying to get the ball into the end zone. 2-score deficit, trying to get this thing closer.
And all they need is the touchdown. It doesn't matter how ugly this might get. And they're probably going to have about 10 plays here inside the 10-yard line to potentially score this with what happened in the previous set of downs.
And it's going to be Johnson with the carry right up the middle up to the 5-yard line. 3rd down for Capital.
Johnson with the carry. Villarreal with the stop.
12 plays, 69 yards so far on this drive. And it feels like most of those plays have happened inside the 10.
You're going to see the big back come back in here, Solomon. So might see a run attempt to try to shorten this up on 3rd down, but they got to get this ball in the end zone.
8 minutes, 12 seconds left in the game. Capital, 3rd down. High snap. Love's going to keep it. Hit hard at the 3-yard line. Taken down, and you see somebody's helmet roll. I think it might have been Love's helmet that went flying after the hit.
And Duncan is now going to come back into the game with the helmet popping off. But Love's got to take that snap and hit the hole. He can't dance around too much back there. This could be potentially shorter, but he couldn't make up his mind on where he wanted to run the ball.
So Love's got to come out of the game after he loses his helmet on the QB keep. The quarterback scramble, so it'll be 4th and goal from the 2-yard line officially. And Donovan Duncan, the junior, comes in and is hoping to help his Capital Comets get in the end zone.
And this will definitely be a pass attempt. Look for that top of the screen there. He might get a pick play for one of those receivers.
Rolls to his right and throws it incomplete as he's hit behind the line by this Heidelberg defense. And it was number 13, Pfeiffer, who applied the pressure.
And that's exactly what it was. They rolled out. They were trying to get a pick play up top. Receiver runs a corner to the back pylon. But Duncan never got the ball there. He was hit. He was pressured. And that is a huge stop for Heidelberg. That could potentially seal this game. Comets really needed that touchdown to maybe put some pressure on the Student Princes. But now it's going to be Drew Miller time for the Heidelberg offense.
After a really long series of events that had Capital 16 plays and 66 yards, incomplete 4th down pass gives the ball back to Heidelberg. And they've got a 1st and 10 from the 2-yard line. 7 minutes and 30 seconds stand between them and another victory. Poorman from the shotgun, fakes it, looking to pass. And he's going to throw it deep to Bradshaw, incomplete.
I like the idea. Definitely try to put pressure on those DBs playing one-on-one press man coverage, but maybe throw that one up to Peters, have him in the game, and he's got that getaway speed from those defensive backs.
Yeah, Peters has had a heck of a night. 4 receptions, 94 yards, and a touchdown. I don't even see him out on the field right now. So Poorman from the shotgun. He's going to hand it off, and Heidelberg going to work their way up to the 7-yard line. And I believe it was 31 who had it. So Parker, the freshman running back, getting a little run here on this drive.
Yeah, he's been busy. He's had several carries here in this fourth quarter. They're really making it a point of emphasis to get him the football.
2 wideouts, 3rd and 7 for Heidelberg. Poorman, shotgun, Parker behind him. Poorman steps up into the pocket, has pressure, throws it, and it looks like number 25, his intended receiver, unable to bring it in. And Sparks, no good, so that'll be a 4th down for Heidelberg, and they're going to kick it right back to Capital.
And with the punt woes that Heidelberg has had, there is a chance this could be a really short field for Capital. Obviously, it would be ideal for Heidelberg to get this thing around the 50-yard line, but Capital is going to want to return this thing and try to get some extra yards.
Yeah, Heidelberg, 35-yard average on their punts this afternoon. They're at the 7-yard line, so you're right, midfield would be a good thing. So here we go. Let's see what they've got. Up and away. It looks short as it's going to be a fair catch by Bailey Johnson right around the 41-yard line, and Capital, good field position after the short punt.
And every drive, every set of chains is 4 downs for Capital, so it can change things a little bit when you know you have 4 plays to get the 10 rather than the 3, but there's not going to be a whole lot more of running the ball for them, which has, unfortunately, for them in the situation, been their only successful way to move the football throughout this game.
Yeah, Capital, 94 rushing yards on 31 attempts, so about 3 yards a carry there.
And that was 22 for 98 at the end of the third quarter, so
yeah,
their inability to score in the red zone and more specifically inside the 5 or 10-yard line has really affected that rushing average.
1st and 10 from the 40. Love throws it, and he's got his key receiver there, Junker, about 8 yards on that catch, and they're going to hurry up to the line as they've got 6 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game, and they've got 2 scores to make up here. And opportunities slipping away as Love going deep. Junker again. He's got it. Touchdown, Capital. Number 13, Nate Junker, with a 31-yard touchdown catch, and Capital's on the board.
They were finally able to get their guy the football downfield. A beautiful throw from Love. A better run into that catch by Junker, getting away from the defensive back Weaver, and he's going to easily get that one for a touchdown. So Capital's going to go with the PAT here. Sometimes teams like to go for 2 in this situation, but they want this at 7 points.
PAT is up, and it is good. Heidelberg now only with a 1-score lead, 27-20 after a huge 31-yard touchdown score by Capital. You're watching Student Prince football on Flow Sports. We'll be right back.
Oh, man. They just won't go away.
No, not at all. Welcome back to Heidelberg University, as moments ago it was Tyler Love who connected with Nate Junker for a 31-yard touchdown catch to put the Comets on the scoreboard and tighten this ball game up. It is 27-20, Heidelberg with a 1-score lead, and there's only 6 minutes left in the game, so it's anybody's contest. And you kind of said it there off air, Trey. Capital just won't go away.
They won't. And Heidelberg's got 140 more yards than Capital does, just 277 for the Comets, but they're still in the game as Clairvaux's going to get a big return here.
And Clairvaux still moving as he's hit, and people are trying to wrestle the ball away, and he's going to be officially stopped at the 38-yard line. Great return by number 6, Clairvaux, Tyrese Clairvaux.
Yeah, and despite the inefficiencies throwing the football, just 12 of 27 for 183 yards and the 1 interception, and now 1 touchdown by Capital. They've been more effective on the ground prior to that red zone stuff that Heidelberg had, but somehow, some way, 140 yards less. They've been able to play the field position a little bit. They've been blessed by a few Student Prince turnovers, and that's got them in this game still down just 1 score.
1st and 10 from the 38-yard line after a strong Clairvaux return. Poorman from the shotgun, going to give it to Miller. Miller, who's going to carry it up to the 41-yard line. That'll be 2nd down for Heidelberg. Drew Miller, 121 yards rushing today, adding to that total on that one. Second and 8 from the 41-yard line. Heidelberg in no rush whatsoever. They've got a 7-point lead. Try to take as much of this clock up as possible. 5 minutes, 17 seconds. Miller again working his way out to the left side, still going, but he's going to be taken down for a loss.
Beautiful wrap tackle there by the defensive back room of Capital. Bailey Johnson gets in on run support, doesn't allow Miller to bounce that thing outside and pick up more yards, and now Heidelberg's got a decision to make. Do they want this clock to continue to run, or are they going to put this ball in the air, try to pick up the 1st down, and end this thing with a victory?
3rd and 9 from the 40-yard line. If you're Heidelberg, you want to get these conversions because you don't want to let Capital do it anymore. And it's Willink who's going to be pushed out of bounds, I think just short of the 1st down marker.
Yeah, the official is short of it by about half of an inch here. So Heidelberg might stay out there and try to get this thing. It is going to be less than a yard, but we'll find out here. And they're going to go under center. They're going to see the old QB sneak here.
Ty Poorman puts his shoulder down. This is going to be awful close. Depends on where the spot is. I'm not sure that he got it. Yeah, Capital's saying that they stopped them, and so it really is going to depend on the spot and where they put the ball.
Based off where the ball is right now, it might be a first down.
Yeah,
I don't think Poorman got to that spot, though.
Yeah, Donaldson's pointing 1st down Heidelberg on the sideline, and officials are going to bring the chain gang out there and measure it here. This is a big measurement. Yeah, Donaldson very confident if you can see him on the sideline, and he's saying 1st down, but officials are coming out to spot this, and it is very close.
It is. It looks like the ball's fully on that hash mark, though, and if you look down at the chain, it's a little behind it. So it looks like it's going to be a 1st down. Do I think that's where the ball should be spotted? No, I don't think Poorman got to the line.
Either, yeah.
But despite that, there's still enough time for Capital with their timeouts to get the football back one more time, but they have to stop this run game.
1st down by the nose of the ball. Look how close that is. Get a good shot right there on your TV. And just the nose of that football is all they needed. 1st down for Heidelberg as they're able to convert on that 4th down quarterback keeper.
And Capital's eventually going to have to start sending extra guys off of that snap, try to get into the backfield. It is tough because Drew Miller can so easily get to the 2nd level, but they got to put pressure on that offensive line and try to create some negative plays.
1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. 3 minutes and 54 seconds left in the game. Heidelberg with a 27-20 lead over Capital and trying to stretch this lead as Poorman to Poorman with the catch, and he's going to be wrestled down to the ground after a short gain.
Almost felt like visions of the last time they ran that. Poorman made a move off of DB and then fumbled it away. So he did a better job there going down before anybody could punch that ball out. But Heidelberg throws it quick and short to get some extra yards here, knowing Capital's going to be playing the run.
That was all the way in the 1st quarter, too. That feels like ages ago. So after the Poorman catch, it's going to be 2nd and 7 from the 47-yard line here. Heidelberg trying to keep this drive alive, take the clock away, and walk away with a huge OAC victory over Capital. Poorman pressure, steps up, throws it, incomplete, and Poorman, the intended receiver, Cole Poorman, unable to catch the ball.
No flags, that stops the clock. Poorman did take a shot after the throw. It wasn't necessarily roughing. I was curious if there'd be a flag thrown. And then downfield, a little bit of a battle there between Johnson and Poorman. Officials felt there was not enough contact, though, for a flag. So they're letting those receivers and DBs continue to battle it out physically.
And we've seen that on both sides of the field, too. So it's kind of fun to watch the football just play out. All right, 3rd and long here for Heidelberg from the 47-yard line. They need to get up to the 41 to convert. Willink, well short of the first down marker, and he's going to just be pushed backwards.
Officials let it just play, too.
Yeah, they are. And we've seen Willink, and there's the flag. I was going to say we've seen Willink involved in some pushing and shoving here in the second half, and that flag coming in late as it looks like forward progress is going to be stopped at the 45, so he's about 4 yards short of the first down marker. But let's see what the actual call is with this penalty. Of course, Heidelberg, 8 penalties already today. Hopefully not another one. Capital, 3 penalties. And this is on Capital. Yep. And they're going to say that A.J. Conti, he's responsible for it.
And that's a brutal penalty. That was going to be 4th down for Heidelberg, and it wasn't going to be an easy one either.
So because of the penalty, Heidelberg, great field position and a first down. Ball's all the way up to the 30-yard line now.
And nearing that 2-minute warning as well. So that's technically a 4th timeout the Comets have available to them, but they've got to properly manage the clock in order to get the ball back with a feasible amount of time to do anything with it, with the way that they have been unable to attack through the air.
And I just can't help but think of one of your keys there, Trey. Discipline, and the inability to play disciplined football costs your team a huge 15-yard penalty here, and this very well could be the edge that Heidelberg needs to claim victory.
And now we get another flag thrown right here. So somebody on that Capital D line was talking to the official, and that's going to move it up more.
And you can see Coach Foose out there on the field by the 30-yard line. Yeah. John at the official. Marcus Young called for the unsportsmanlike, and that's another 15 yards. Goodness gracious.
And you mentioned it at the beginning. It's a young Capital team, and they're learning a lot right now. And one of those things is, you can only say so much to an official before they are going to throw you with that flag. But in addition to that, this was the big moment for them in the game. They're going to get the ball back with a chance to tie or go for 2 and win with a touchdown. And instead, 2 back-to-back 15-yard penalties has Heidelberg on the verge of potentially scoring this thing.
That is huge. They were at the 45. Now they're up here at the 15-yard line, like you said. 2 15-yard penalties. Poorman to Poorman, flag on the field.
And that'll be DPI now on Capital. So 3 straight penalties, all technically 15-yarders. This one will be half the distance to the goal, put it at about the 7.5-yard line for Heidelberg.
Wow. What a turn of events here. As the officials, they've been busy throwing flags. Yep, pass interference. You said 3 straight penalties, automatic first down, and Heidelberg's run 1 play, and they've picked up 37 yards in penalties.
They've picked up essentially all the yards that they've needed to, and they don't even have to get a touchdown here. They could just kick a field goal, get it to 2 scores, and that'll probably be all that they need to do to win the game. But obviously, they want to milk this clock down as far as they can, make Capital burn those timeouts.
It puts a lot of pressure on the Comets offense to try to come back out here and have a quick score, which they really haven't been able to do. They've had long, slow drives all night long. So 1st and goal from the 5-yard line after 3 penalties. And here's another penalty, but this time it's going to be on Heidelberg.
Wide receiver Poorman got a little antsy there. He lost his balance, jumped off sides, and that's now going to push Heidelberg back another 5 yards.
So a little sloppy play here on the last few moments of of this drive. Still 2 minutes, looks like 2 minutes 38 seconds here left in the game. Heidelberg with a 7-point lead, and it's first and goal from the 10-yard line after Heidelberg caught jumping onside. And, they're going to give it to LeMaster. And I don't think he got in. He's down at the 2-yard line. LeMaster very, very close. 8-yard scamper. And Heidelberg getting close to extending this lead to a 2-score game.
And it looks like Capital's going to let this thing go down to the 2-minute warning. I would be in the camp of calling them before the 2-minute warning in this case, but they're going to let it go down. Then Heidelberg could honestly wait another play or two, maybe just make them call the timeouts, and then there's even less time than what there would have been pre-2-minute warning.
And Capital has 2 timeouts in their pocket, so that's a 2-minute warning here. We're going to take a short break here from Heidelberg University. You're watching Flow Sports.
Mismanaged the clock. That's wild.
That's silly. Yeah. All right. 2-minute timeout.
The 2-minute warning is like,
Hey, no, but you can't.
but you can't call it.
So
Did they trademark that? Yeah.
In the NBA, they do a similar 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
It's not trademarked in that situation. So they always announce it 2 minutes to go or whatever.
So I should, when we come back, all right, we're back at Herneman Stadium, and we had the 2-minute timeout down on the field. We were getting some interesting trivia here about trademarks and all the rest.
We're told we're not allowed to say 2-minute warning.
We got to watch what we're saying here.
I didn't know the NFL wanted to can us like that, but it's all right.
Yeah, so second and goal for Heidelberg. And let's see if they can punch it in as Poorman is under center. And he's going to hand it off to Haley. And is Haley in? Flag on
Late
the field.
Flag. Could be a hold on
He's
Heidelberg.
in, though. Touchdown Heidelberg for now, as there's a flag on the field.
It's going to be a hold on Heidelberg.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Heidelberg. So Corbin Haley's touchdown's coming back.
Looks like a hold on 57, Zachary May. Wrestled down a Capital defender there after he didn't really need to be involved in the play. The play was away from him near the goal line. So Heidelberg probably won't punch this thing in, but what they can do is make Capital burn 2 of these timeouts, and then they can just kick that field goal.
I just keep watching the ticker tape here on penalties, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. 10 penalties, 88 yards for Heidelberg this afternoon, and they've got a 7-point lead, 1 minute, 53 seconds. Poorman under center, second down. He's going to hand it off to Haley. Haley hit behind the line. He dives forward up to the 12-yard line. And it's going to be another timeout for Capital as a big third down's coming.
And that was exactly the type of hit they need. Helmet on football. Try to punch that thing out. Good job by Haley protecting the football there. High and tight up by his collarbone. But Capital's going to call that timeout, obviously. They're going to be really aggressive. They're going to get scrappy. They're going to try to knock that football out. So Heidelberg's going to want to keep this thing on the ground, but be smart about it, and also ask their kicker, Ramsdale, where he wants the ball when he is likely going to kick this field goal.
Yeah, and you can see him warming up down there on the sideline here. So Heidelberg has the ball at the 12-yard line here. Big third down coming up. And no matter what happens here, they should be able to walk away with some points. It's a 27-20 lead over Capital right now. But what that means is no timeouts for Capital. Or actually, they might have one left still.
They'll likely have one
because
left.
They had the 2-minute timeout to help them slow down the clock. But one timeout, and you're going to have to go a pretty good distance twice.
Get an onside kick as well.
Exactly. That's a lot to ask for.
And Heidelberg's going to go gun empty here. We're probably going to get Haley or someone else motioning into the backfield to show a potential run, but they might air this one out.
What are the chances Poorman takes it? Haley in motion. Poorman from the shotgun looking to pass. Hit as he throws. He's got Willink. Oh, no. He just dropped it. Willink had it right there in the perfect spot, unable to bring it in.
And that's going to save Capital a timeout now. It's just one of the things I not necessarily despise, but am against in this situation is putting the ball in the air there. I understand wanting the touchdown, but you just need points here.
Yeah.
So run the ball, make them burn a timeout, and then convert on this field goal here, which is never a freebie at this point. So you never know. Capital could send some pressure, block this thing. It could miss, and that would change the game completely for Capital.
Heidelberg had the play that they wanted, unable to convert, so it's going to be 4th down and force them to kick the field goal. It's tipped at the line, but it did go through. Field goal is good. Heidelberg 30, Capital 20. After a tipped field goal goes through the uprights.
Barely.
How do you like that for drama?
Barely through the uprights. Another yard, and that thing would have bounced up, and who knows where it would have went. So
all right, 1 minute, 35 seconds left at Herneman Stadium. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. Okay. How about that? Welcome back to Heidelberg University, and we've got a minute and a half left in today's game, and Heidelberg has a 10-point lead after a big field goal that gave them that 2-score lead, and it was 13 plays, 61 yards. Heidelberg marched down the field, and wouldn't you know it, it was a whole bunch of penalties that kind of helped contribute to that drive.
100%. Heidelberg didn't even increase their total yardage by much, but they did get a ton of penalty yards by Capital, a couple that kept them on the field defensively rather than getting their offense back out there in a 1-score game. So some costly mistakes, especially after the play, really hurt Capital and put them in a tough spot here with just a minute 30 left.
High kick, and it's going to be Armstead with a fair catch around the 25-yard line in this Comets offense. They got their work cut out for them. 90 seconds. They need 2 scores. Got to start on this drive.
I'm going to have to score quickly, so we're going to probably see some deep shots to Nate Yonker here. He got the last big touchdown, and he's matched up at the top with Weaver, who has struggled in the past few games covering, especially that deep ball.
Yonker, 5 receptions, 85 yards, and that touchdown that you just mentioned. Armstead, second leading receiver today, 3 receptions for 49 yards. Both of them their top 2 wideouts. Of course, don't forget about Kasim Johnson, kind of does everything. He runs it, he catches it, just a dangerous player. So here we go. Tyler Love from the shotgun going deep. He's got it. There you go. Hanukkah out of bounds at the 30. First down for Capital.
And there you go. Big play to open up the drive. Now they need to think about how much time they think they're going to need back and then whether they want to just kick the field goal, get the touchdown. Obviously you want touchdown first, but you're going to need 2 scores either way. So if they get in a situation where they need the points, just take the field goal and save themselves some time.
Preston Hanukkah, huge catch. They're going to go right back to him. Overthrows as Love hit while he throws. So that'll be second down for Capital.
Yeah, poor pass blocking there by the Capital offensive line. Ball was snapped, and there was immediate pressure from Love's right side. So Capital's got to draw something up here and take some sort of shot. Heidelberg's probably going to play more on the conservative side, but they're still pressing these receivers.
Preston Hanukkah, 2 receptions for 60 yards after a huge gain moments ago. A minute 22 left in the game. Heidelberg with a 10-point lead. Love looking to pass. He's going deep. And he's got it. Touchdown, Capital.
What a catch over the shoulder of the linebacker, and there it is. They get their quick score.
Yeah, Wesley Armstead, touchdown. And Capital gets a quick tutty. And now it's a 1-score game.
And it's going to come down to this onside kick here, but with Heidelberg passing in that
Okay, they got their kicking game out there. I'm like, are they going to
go for 2?
Hey.
Yeah, you looked at me for a second. So
yeah.
they'll need to execute this. Obviously, that changes the game for them. They won't have to get a touchdown, but they have to get this onside kick,
Definitely.
obviously.
All right, PAT, this is going to be a important point as it goes up, and it is in. So it's 30-27. Heidelberg over Capital right now. 1:15 left in the game, and you know what's coming. The onside kick. All right, so what
This
are
will
you
be the
talking
first
about?
one
Yeah,
we've seen.
I was going to say,
outside
we
of
haven't had-
the surprise onside Heidelberg did against Calvin. They
Yeah.
got them looking and ended up getting a huge extra possession despite that loss. So I believe Capital still has 2 timeouts because Heidelberg threw on that 3rd down.
Yeah, I think they've got one officially at the scoreboard, although the sun is kind of washing it out a
Can't
little
really
bit.
tell
so
what's
it's-
on the scoreboard.
We could be wrong, but yeah, so it looks like Heidelberg has 2 timeouts, Capital 1 timeout, and we're going to see an onside kick here. Clearly, the Heidelberg hands team is up, and it looks like Woodruff is back deep around the 20-yard line for Heidelberg. So let's see. This is a big one. This means a lot here. 3-point lead for Heidelberg after Capital marches down the field in speedy fashion.
I will say in the event that they do have 2 timeouts, they could get the ball back, but not with a lot of time.
Ooh, boy, it is loose. It goes out of bounds, and there's a flag on the field, of course.
Offsides on Capital when they lined up.
Goodness.
Somebody was lined up offsides, but
Gosh.
Capital's got to have guys ready to swarm
Yeah.
to the football there. They had only one guy that tackled Poorman,
Yeah,
and no one there to
Cole-
recover.
Yeah, number 4, Cole Poorman, got his hands on it, hit hard. Ball was loose.
That ball, the penalty being forced from the end of the kick.
Yeah, so offside on Capital. So Heidelberg's going to get it here.
This will likely be all that she wrote as well. I'm still trying to confirm the timeout situation. I believe Capital had
Yeah.
2. It might actually be
I
1.
think they've got 1, yeah.
If it is 2, though, with the play clock being at 40, there is a way they could get the ball back. It would be very little time,
Yeah,
though. So
minimal.
Heidelberg's going to just kneel this thing
Yeah,
out.
victory
play it smart.
formation. Yeah. So victory formation down there. And, of course, Capital's going to burn their final timeout here.
You never know. You might fumble the snap. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm a
it could happen.
I'm a proponent for coaches just burning the timeouts because
Yeah,
you
I
never
mean-
know what can happen. But
This is the
we'll see.
timeout of the half.
So with the victory today, assuming things go as planned here, Heidelberg going to be above 500, officially 3-2. They're going to pick up another OAC victory, exactly what they want here. And that's kind of what you need as you continue through this vaunted OAC schedule.
Yeah, and I kind of hinted at this earlier. Heidelberg, despite the complete domination in terms of yardage and time of possession and how they've been able to move the football more efficiently, they somehow found ways to let Capital hang around and hang around, and it ends up being a 3-point game because of some of the miscues made by Heidelberg, especially with the turnovers.
And they're going to kneel it here. And no way to stop the clock now. 1:04 left. And it's looking more and more like Capital's going to drop to 1-3. 0-3 in the OAC. And that's a tough hole to dig out of if you want any chance of contention in the OAC.
Yeah, you can only lose about 2 games in the OAC,
Yeah.
and that's not even factoring in the fact that John Carroll left. You still need about 2 losses all year or so, and those can be out of conference, in conference, but it becomes very tough. And with the
Yeah.
expanded playoffs as well, the OAC does get 2 teams in now. So
This one should do it. Yep. And that'll do it here. Heidelberg University. They made it interesting, but they're going to walk away with a victory over Capital. And your final score here from Herneman Stadium is going to be 30-27, Student Prince victory on homecoming.
and they made it interesting indeed. I agree with that statement. Capital's going to definitely want back those 2 penalties that they had on that last defensive drive because they had the perfect opportunity to get the ball back. The ball was at midfield. It was going to be a punt. They're going to get it at probably inside the 20-yard line, but they could have done exactly what they just did, which was drive down the field, and in that case, it could have been a PAT to tie or go for 2 in the win. So they're going to look at some things that they're going to want back for sure, but Heidelberg is as well. They played very well and honestly played better than the score would indicate. They definitely should have put up more than 30 points considering how they were able to move that football.
All right, your final score here from Hernemann Stadium, Heidelberg 30, Capital 27. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back, break down all of tonight's action. You're watching Heidelberg football on Flow Sports. We need a player of the game. Do you want to do a player of the game?
Yeah,
How do you want to do this? Okay.
We each give our own as well, like we did the one.
Okay.
We could each give our own personal one,
Yeah,
but
sure. I mean, I like Miller. He makes it work.
we'll do the opposite of what we did in the Calvin game because you went Miller, or no, not the Calvin, the Hiram game. You went Porman because he had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I went Miller, so I'm going to go Porman here. You can go Miller if you want.
All right.
I'll give my reasoning later.
Okay. Yeah. No, he had a great game.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Hernemann Stadium. Our final score here from Tiffin, Ohio. Heidelberg 30, Capital 27, and it was a hard-fought game all day long that resulted in the Student Princes winning their homecoming game here on campus. Let's start at the beginning where it all got kicked off, and I mean that literally as Capital scored first on a field goal, 7 plays, 21 yards, and they were able to convert a 32-yard field goal. There's the first points of the day. Heidelberg followed that up, and within a minute's time, Ty Porman passed through the middle to Dimitri Peters for a 17-yard touchdown, and the PAT was good. 2 plays, 64 yards, 30 seconds, and that gave Heidelberg the 6-3 lead. And then, of course, Heidelberg came back in the second quarter here. Porman pass completed to Shea Sparks, 3-yard touchdown. Ramsdale missed the PAT. So that 10-play, 62-yard drive took 4 minutes off, and Heidelberg had a 13-3 lead over Capital. And again, they started to just pour it on here in the second as they were able to, Cole Porman this time, able to rush to his left side for a 3-yard touchdown, capping off a 13-play, 65-yard drive, and that put Heidelberg up 20-3. Of course, Capital came back in, and right before halftime, Zion Solomon rushed up the middle for a 1-yard touchdown, and that 3-play, 21-yard drive right before halftime made it a 20-10 game at half. Coming back into the third quarter, it was interesting, and Capital just kept fighting and clawing their way back into this game. And it was Bauman with another field goal, this time from 21 yards out, and that gave Capital 13 points, down 7. Of course, Heidelberg did respond. Ty Porman passed to the left side to Corbin Haley for 14 yards and a score, capping off a 12-play, 87-yard drive. Might have been the most consequential drive of the half, taking 6 minutes off the clock. It's now 27-13, Heidelberg in the third quarter. But Tyler Love knocked around all night long, in and out of the game. He's back into the game, and he passes to Nate Yunker for a huge 31-yard score. And just like that, they're back in it. One-score game, 27-20. But Ramsdale will have the last laugh as he hits a 28-yard field goal with 1 minute, 46 seconds left in the game. That'll be the dagger, 30-20. Of course, Capital will score, but that 3-point field goal, all the difference that Heidelberg needed as they walk away with a 30-27 final score here from Hernemann Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio. What a game, what a game. And we were talking a little bit off air here. Trying to name a player of the game is very difficult because there's so many players that contributed to this victory tonight.
Yeah, and I had mentioned to you, we probably are leaning different ways here. We're each going to give our own player of the game. A couple weeks ago when Heidelberg played Hiram, I was thinking Miller. You were thinking Poorman. I'm going to go Poorman in this case just because the passing attack is really what got Heidelberg going in this game, and then they could lean heavily on that run game in Drew Miller, who wasn't able to break off any big runs until the later half of this contest. But I thought Poorman played a pretty good game. He was pretty efficient. The 19-34 could be better, but he was able to throw for almost 260 yards. He did have the 3 touchdowns, and he was able to affect this game on the ground with his legs as well.
That's a good choice. You can't go wrong. He had a heck of a ball game, and every week he puts his team in position to be successful on offense. But like you said, I'm going in a slightly different way, and I look at it this way. Heidelberg outrushed Capital 179-94, so that 80-yard edge that Heidelberg had running the ball, I think can all be attributed to Miller, who had 122 yards, and his 6-yard average was a huge difference maker in a very close game this afternoon. So I'm going to go Drew Miller just because I think that rushing attack was the difference, not just in time of possession, but overall it helped Heidelberg just control things top to bottom.
And an honorary player of the game in this case would be the Heidelberg defense. They held Capital to 94 passing yards through 3 quarters, 258 overall for the game. But that defense really set the tone and made life difficult for the Comets.
All right, well, that'll do it for us here at Herniman Stadium in Tiffin, Ohio. Heidelberg walks away with a 30-27 victory. They're now above 500 at 3-2, and Capital drops down to 1-3-2, 2-2, 1-1 in the OAC. Capital drops down to 1-3 on the season. So thank you for tuning in here for Trayvon Hastings, Dominic Helmstead,